Merry Christmas! Dinner was full! And I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no-good, rotten, four-flushing, low-life, snake-licking, dirt-eating, inbred, overstuffed, ignorant, blood-sucking, dog-kissing, brainless, dickless, hopeless, heartless, fat-ass, bug-eyed, stiff-legged, spotty-lipped, worm-headed sack of monkey shit he is! Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
What's up, everybody? Merry Christmas.
What's up? Evening, John.
That was great.
So,
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Reels are getting better and better.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, guys. I appreciate everybody being here. This is going to be our top 5 Christmas movies of all times. It should be a fun one. This was not that difficult, at least for most of them. The back end, I had a little bit of a problem. But I got some classics I watch every year. Those are pretty easy to pick out. What about you guys? Y'all have any problems with this? Narrowed it down?
I kept finding more. Like I kept finding oh shit, that, or oh shit, that. And and then I started watching stuff. Once I started watching all the things, it became easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a really hard time. Like Christmas movies are one of my favorites, and once I finally got it narrowed down to like the top ones, I had a more difficult time trying to arrange those in the correct order. But yeah, it was tough. There's a lot of good Christmas movies out there.
Yeah. I just watch a lot of over the last 2 days. I watched a lot of new first time watches that didn't make the list. There's some good ones. There's also a whole lot of bad ones too.
Yeah, there's hell of a lot of bad ones. When you start looking at Christmas films, there's some absolute stinkers over the years.
Yeah.
You're
Sometimes
gonna
it
hear
feels like
about
they kind of throw them
those.
together just to get a movie out for the holiday. You know,
You're
bad
gonna hear
actors,
about those
bad story.
the shitty. You're gonna hear about the shitty Christmas movies as soon as Tony gets through his. Let's keep your ears open for those. I guarantee you, there's gonna be some wild shit in there.
Let's jump into the chat and see who we got out there with us tonight. Caveman's here. What's up, buddy? Let's smash that like button. Yeah, please do. All the notes. What is up? Tommy Pops, Brad, Anthony, and Craig.
Hey.
Hey,
Man.
What is up?
Dell on moves. What's going on, Dell? What's up, guys? Merry Christmas to all. Same to you, man. Hey, Dell, just watching your last video. Allie, what's going on, Allie? Been looking forward to this stream. I appreciate that.
Awesome.
Mel, what's going on, Mel? What's up, friends? Mama Blu-ray, how you doing, Mama Blu-ray?
What's going on?
Monkey says, Merry Christmas movies. Hey, the Mama. Christmas typo. I thought maybe I had something in the thumbnail. Hollow says, hey, to Mel. All right, Doc Turno, what's up, guys? What's going on? Mel says, hey, to Holland. What's going on, Ben? Hose, and hose.
Right on.
But, guys, without no further ado, let's go and get started. Tom, if you want to go first, man, you got the hot seat there.
Yeah.
Do the one hole.
Put me on the spot here.
No pressure.
All right. Well, cool. Thanks everybody for joining us. Kicking things off here. Are we going to do the honorable mention at the end or now?
Yeah, we'll do it at the end.
Okay. All right. So my number 5 is a movie that I just I have to watch every single year. It is such a cool movie. Not a ton of people know about it, but I'm sure you guys all have. But anyways, Reindeer Games.
Oh yeah.
This movie is so fun. It's got so much to it. It takes a lot of my favorite things of my favorite kinds of movies and puts them all together. I love prison movies. I love movies set in a casino. I like heist movies. I like obviously Christmas movies, and I mean this you can just get a combination of everything. So I think this was from 2000. Yeah, it came out in 2000. You get a really young Charlize Theron, and she's hot as hell in here. And Gary Sinise, who I love. Ben Affleck, never been a huge fan of his, but I like him in this movie. And it's really cool. It's just there's so many things cool about this movie. It's got a really cool twist ending that I remember seeing for the first time. It did not see it coming. I was just like, wow, that is awesome. But yeah, you get some pretty badass scenes in here with
well,
sorry, I think I just cut out there. I had somebody calling me, but pretty hot scene with Charlize Theron in here. That's all I'm going to say about that. But
in the pool. It must be Craig. It must be Craig calling him.
It probably is.
What happens when Craig calls? He just dials over and over again until you pick up.
But anyways, yeah, but really good movie. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. Number 5.
Hey, you want to go for the rated cut of?
Yeah,
I know. That brings up a really good point.
Tell us about that.
The Blu-ray version, you only get the director's cut, which is just one of those deals that just suck. It's they take out a lot of scenes and they add scenes in, and it's just a bunch of nonsense scenes that you understand why they cut in the first place. And then they take out some good stuff. So I hate when they do that. I wish we would get a regular cut of this film on Blu-ray. If not, I should probably buy the DVD back because it's a much better version. So if you're going to watch this for the first time, watch the DVD one. But yeah, awesome.
It's
awesome
a lot of fun, man. That's a lot of fun. Yeah. I love Gary Sinise in it as the bad guy. And it's a good, if you remember him from Payback, Gary Sinise is really underrated as a bad guy.
I agree.
He's great in it as the bad guy, and Payback too. He's awesome in that too. But
yeah,
great flick.
Hell of a choice, man. So who was next? Anthony. I didn't see the rotation before I moved him out.
Yeah, man.
Oh well, we'll do it.
Well, if any of you guys are new to me or new to my channel that's watching on the stream now, you'll know my channel is basically nostalgia. It's all about 80s, early 90s nostalgia. And the picks for me that we're going to have a look at now are all nostalgic films from my childhood. And the whole thing of Christmas is one big fucking nostalgia kicker for me. So you'll start to see some oddball stuff crop through. And some of you guys in the US might know this stuff. You might not know it. But for me, being in the UK, this is a massive part of Christmas for us. And the first one I'm going to pop in, it's Raymond Briggs, and it's Father Christmas. We can get that in. Raymond Briggs was an author from sort of like the mid-70s. Put a lot of stuff out to books, sold millions of these books, and then over the years they got that sort of adaptation into film. And there was sort of short animated films. Father Christmas is from 91, I think, 1991. Bit of a whole spin on the whole Father Christmas Santa Claus thing. In this particular film, you don't get to see Father Christmas being Father Christmas. You get to see Father Christmas on his time off. So for the rest of the time of the year when he's not delivering presents, you get to see him going on his holidays and doing DIY to his house and all that kind of stuff. But it's in that animation style of Raymond Briggs. Raymond Briggs style of stuff is fantastic. There's only Raymond Briggs stuff, looks like Raymond Briggs stuff. The voiceover work in this is great. And these are only short. I think this is just over the 20-minute mark. So the quick in and out kind of films. But so being in Britain, being in England, this kind of stuff, growing up as a kid, this was a constant source of TV when I was younger. So there's no getting away from this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? This stuff's drilled into your DNA at Christmas time if you're in the UK. So the first one was for me was Raymond Briggs' Father Christmas.
I don't think I've heard of that. When did that come out?
1991.
Okay.
The original book came out in 73. So Raymond Briggs did. I mean, the books were only short. There wasn't much to them. They were sort of like paperback books that were sort of A1 size. They were quite large books, but quite thin. All about the illustration, really. All about the presentation. Yeah. The storylines were really good on them. Because again, it shows you an alternative to what Father Christmas does for the rest of the year when he's not delivering presents.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Again, sort of limited storyline. There isn't that much of a storyline. It's the whole nostalgic thing of it being a British TV film that I grew up with. You know what I mean?
Right on. I get it. That's awesome.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, guys, by the way, we are international. We got our buddy Anthony here from the UK, so he's going to have some stuff that we maybe never heard of before.
Make sure you guys turn on the subtitles. It'll make it easier.
He speaks English, but we speak American. So
yeah.
Well, I won't go as far as as close as I speak English, but it's.
He's dumbing it down. He's going a lot slower than he normally goes.
Well, he's got to dumb it down for us a little bit. All right, Craig, what you got, bud?
All right. Well, first, Pops, I want to thank you for bringing me on again. It's always a great time, doing
Absolutely,
these top fives with you guys. I always look forward to this. Kind of piggybacking off of what Tony was saying, Christmas is such a big nostalgia kick for me. The ones that are in my top five are the ones I watched over and over and over again as a kid and still have my yearly watches with them to this day. Number 5, I had to go with the Santa Claus, the first one. This is the one that I've watched the most out of any of I guess I've only seen the sequels maybe once or twice and didn't really care for them. But this movie, just as a standalone movie, it's really all you need. And I know they came out with like a TV series now on Disney Plus. I haven't checked that out yet, but this movie, it's Tim Allen at its finest. It really is. It's very quotable. I thought it was really good for its time. It got a good soundtrack and just, a yearly watcher. It just had to be in my top 5. I absolutely love this movie. And there's a couple moments at the end where you get teary-eyed when where what's his name gets the weenie whistle and the mom gets the board game and stuff. Like, I love that part. But yeah, I had to go with the Santa Claus. So this came out in like 2012 on Blu-ray, and me and Tommy were always saying like, man, we got to get this on 4K. So a couple years back, they released it. They released like the trilogy in a box set, and they released them individual slips. So we got a slip on it, and we didn't get a 4K, unfortunately. But however, the code that they sent with this, the code actually redeems in 4K. So we kind of got gypped on that. But at least we got a slip. So I'm hoping, one day Disney's going to put this out on 4K. But anyone in the chat, I mean, if you haven't seen the Santa Claus, I mean, I highly recommend this. If you haven't seen it in a long time, check it out again because, I mean, it holds up. It really does. Made in 1994 with Tim Allen. So, yeah, that's my number 5, Santa Claus.
That was exciting when we actually got slips on those. So I remember when it came to Blu-ray, they just had the box set. And I'm like, well, I had that. I had to have that. But when they re-released them as slipcovers, that was so cool. But just something I'm going to say really fast. I'll just throw out there for who's ever listening in the stream. But I just finished watching the first season of the Santa Clauses, and it was really good. It was a lot of fun. So if you're a fan of the franchise, you guys definitely got to check that out. It was really good.
Yep. One thing you can look for in this movie too, they actually put hidden elves throughout this movie. So if you watch any of the random scenes, you see like the kids in the background with like the pointy ears.
Yeah.
Dressed as civilians. It's so cool how you can kind of point them out. And then at the end of the movie, they all like run away together at the same time. Like after the police take over the house,
Yep.
see all the kids back up and they run down the street. Then you watch the movie and I'm like, oh, that kid was in this part. That kid was there. That kid was in the restaurant.
Yeah.
So it's like a cool little Easter egg.
Yeah. Great pick, man.
That's awesome.
Such a
It is a great film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully 4K next year. Hopefully.
This
Hopefully.
is what a goon fucking Craig is. Craig's over here fucking going, hey Pops, thanks for having me on. This was Craig's fucking idea. This stream was Craig's idea. Hey, thanks for inviting me to my own stream, dude. He came up with it.
Well, thanks for having me on, Craig.
Yeah. Yeah. We should all be thanking Craig. Craig, we appreciate you bringing us in here tonight.
He's spinning
That's
a lot
great,
of
man.
plates
Great
over
pick,
here,
Craig.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to clarify real quick before we go on. Like, I guess we're trying to say overtly Christmas movies, movies that are obviously Christmas movies, because there's a lot of movies where Christmas is referenced. Like this movie, for instance, is not my pick, but Christmas is all over this movie. There's Christmas music. There's people decorating the tree.
Yeah.
There's Christmas parties in this movie, but it's not a Christmas movie. You know what I mean? Let's not, we're not gonna try to game the, system or whatever.
Well, that brings up a good point because we were talking about that last night. Is just so everybody knows. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of these are going to be like mainstream Christmas movies, but yeah, I mean, it pretty much just comes down to at the end of the day, what if it's a Christmas movie to us, we're putting it in our list,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, my number 5. That being said, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I don't know if everybody's seen this movie.
I've never seen it.
I've seen
It's a
it.
Shane Black movie from 2005. It takes place on Christmas. There's Christmas parties all over. Christmas is referenced heavily. I think this just makes the cut as a Christmas movie. I mean, because it's Christmas the whole time. Like in Goodfellas, it's Christmas a portion of the movie. Like this is all the way Christmas. People are in Christmas costumes, all that stuff. But anyway, it's the characters Harry and Perry, played by Robert Downey Jr., and then Val Kilmer as Perry, aka Gay Perry. It's this oddball mystery. It's an R-rated comedy, hard R, a lot of fun. RDJ is playing this burglar from New York who stumbles into an audition and is cast in a movie in LA. He ends up mixed up in a murder mystery. He ends up taking private detective lessons for the role from Val Kilmer's character. And of course, like it's like the typical, like they don't like each other at first and they kind of become friends and the typical, shit. But I love the dialogue in it. I love that it's not a PC movie. We say this all the time. Couldn't be made today, this kind of movie. Like here's a line from the movie, like they're interrogating a guy and Perry, Gay Perry, he's called that the whole movie. He says, "This isn't good cop, bad cop. This is fag and New Yorker. You're in a lot of trouble here, sir." Like, it just, I don't know, man, everything about it. I love the banter between them the two of them. Kilmer is awesome in this. This is kind of one of the last of his real strong roles before he started getting sick and weird and all this stuff. But the back and forth between them is hilarious. Robert Downey Jr. is disgusted with Kilmer's gayness, and Kilmer just keeps throwing it in his face. He won't let it go. He just is always, every reference is a gay reference, and it just keeps disgusting Robert Downey Jr. And I don't know, it's a lot of fun, man. I don't know. There's no better way to say it, but RDJ keeps he's a constant fuck up, and he keeps getting his finger ripped off. I mean, I don't know. It all sounds like a mess, I'm telling you, but it really works. 2005, back when they actually made comedies, and this is definitely a hidden gem. If nobody's seen this one, definitely pick it up, man. I'm sure you can get it cheap, or it's probably streaming somewhere. But it's a good Christmas movie. I watch it every year.
Nice. Yep. You have me intrigued.
If you haven't seen that, dude, it's hilarious.
I've heard of it.
Brad, I'm gonna kind of piggyback off Brad with the same kind of premise. When I was going through the movies I wanted to pull for the stream, I thought about what I watch every Christmas, or at least every Christmas holiday around Christmas. And this one is just about every year. It's one of my favorite franchises of all times, and that's going to be the first Lethal Weapon.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite franchises. It's the epitome of a damn cop movie. This is definitely a Christmas movie. It starts off playing a damn Christmas song as you see this prostitute jump to her death. What's more Christmas than that? Yeah. And it's just a great. Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, directed by Richard Donner, rest in peace. The movie came out in '87. Guys, who haven't seen this movie? What can I say about this? This is Mel Gibson's, perfect role, other than maybe The Road Warrior. I don't know. I've seen this movie a dozen times. I've seen it in theaters back in the day. I've seen it 3 or 4 dozen times. But Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, they play so well off each other. Danny Glover plays an aging cop, turning 50 years old. He gets teamed up with Mel Gibson, who's this kind of a renegade, kind of a crazy cop. Everybody's wondering if he's trying to kill himself, if he's on the edge, But the two of them go from not really liking each other to becoming best of friends. He becomes like a member of the family. It's got a really cool Christmas vibe. There's Christmas all over this damn movie. Gary Busey plays the bad guy in this. I absolutely love Gary Busey. He's fantastic in this. There's a great fight scene at the end. This movie just has it all. And so here on my list is going to be number 5. So that's what I got.
Thank you for that pick. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Everyone always says Die Hard, and
I had to pull it, man. Every single year at Christmas, I watch this movie. Around within a week before, week after, I got to throw it in.
I love it when people look
at the Die Hard thing versus Lethal Weapon. They're both shot in California. People are wearing coats and stuff, I guess is the difference, but it's not like there's no snow in either movie.
Right. So, but they're renovating the house. They got a Christmas tree in the house. The movie's got Christmas all over.
Yeah.
I know it's not a Christmas movie, so to speak, but in my mind, it's a movie that I relate to Christmas because I watch it every Christmas. It has that Christmas feel when I watch it.
God, that part with Tom Atkins getting shot through the back through the eggnog.
Oh man, it's fantastic, man. Such a great cast. All the bad guys, the supporting cast. It's just, man, it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Hell yeah.
Hey, you want to go through the chat for the second round?
Yeah, there you go. Let's do that. You think I've done this before?
First stream? Hell?
Y'all be patient with me. I'm learning. I gotta line everybody back up here. Everybody talk amongst yourselves. All right. All right, guys. We are back. We'll see what everybody's talking about out there. All right, Wild Wrangler, what's going on, man? Says, hey. Monkey says, no, thank you, Ben. I'm on empty right now. Should have offered earlier. And of course, Ben was saying hose, hose, hose. Catherine Hernandez saying, hey to Tommy. What's going on, Catherine?
Hey, Catherine.
Wild Wrangler says, watching Jack Frost Killer Snowman.
Not to be confused.
Reindeer Games. I can't escape it. All right, Ben says, I just watched Reindeer Games last night. And Mama Blu-ray said, where's Bob? LOL. Leonard,
Gerard,
am I saying that right? What's up, Craig?
Oh, that's my stepdad.
Oh, okay. Welcome, Leonard.
What's up, Dad?
That's awesome. Ben says Reindeer Games is currently on HBO Max too. I need to check it out. Man, I ain't seen that movie in a while.
What version? What version is on there?
Alice says, I need to see Lieutenant Dan as a bad guy. Yeah, who doesn't?
He's better as a bad guy, Gary Sinise, than even a good guy.
Yeah,
I think.
What's going on, Jerry?
Gary,
appreciate you being here, buddy. Jess, that's your better half, ain't it? Mr. Starr,
Yeah.
do you want dinner now or later?
Oh yeah, thanks for the pizza.
Yep, how's it going, Jess? All right, Mel saying hey to Jerry. Jerry saying hey back. What's going on, buddy? There's Dirt. I knew Eyes Wide Shut is on all y'all's list.
Yeah, if you want to hear,
check out.
If you want to hear way too much about Eyes Wide Shut,
There you
we
go.
did a 3-hour video on Eyes Wide Shut just the other day on my channel. And Dirk, we basically just sat there and listened to Dirk preach about the movie. So, and it got real weird. So, if you're interested in that, definitely check it out.
All right, laughing the Dirt. Alex said the Santa Clauses on Disney Plus is very cute and fun. If you like the movies, you should totally check it out. It actually got renewed for a second season.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I'll mention really
cool.
quick about really cool is that it goes back to the first movie, and you find out a lot of new things about the first movie, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's another good one though. Eyes Wide Shut. That is a pure. I mean, like nobody thinks of it as a Christmas movie, but you watch it, it's definitely a fucking Christmas movie. Christmas is every scene. There's trees and lights everywhere. I mean, it's absolutely a Christmas movie, but it's not a traditional Christmas movie because the subject matter is definitely not about Christmas.
All right, Wild Wrangler says Rudolph and Frosty the Snowman. Also love Charlie Brown Christmas. My mom read me the story of Rudolph. Oh, 1980 she read.
Yep.
Holland said, thanks for having me on that, Craig.
Yeah, on the chat. Thanks for having me in the chat, Craig.
Goose 86. Hi, everyone. Big fan of y'all. I appreciate it. I like your
Thank you.
thumbnail there.
So
Better than Clark Griswold. Wild Wranglers Batman Returns, 92.
Nice choice.
yes,
That movie actually showed up in my master list at the beginning.
Yeah.
yep.
118 titles, whittled down to 5. Honorable mention.
Dale says, sadly, I still haven't seen the Santa Claus, man. You need to check that out, Dale. It's a good one. All right, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang qualifies and is damn good. Dale
Oh,
proves.
absolutely, man. I don't know how
Wrangler
people missed
says,
that. I don't know what happened, but they must have been up against some big, like some really big movie or something the same weekend in the theaters because nobody seems to have seen that.
All right, anyone see the ATM movie 2000 or 2012? It's Christmas. That movie kept coming. I have seen it. That movie kept coming up, whatever, in list I was searching around for. And I haven't seen that movie in years, whatever. But
I thought that
I
was
remember liking it.
Got back.
What's up, Trini?
Trini.
Hey, the Trini. Hey, back. All right. Ha, ha, ha. Love Gay Perry.
Yep.
Hey, Culture. Oh, sorry, y'all. They jumped on me. Alex says, I'm loving how diverse the picks are so far. Yeah, you're probably going to see some diverse picks here, I would think, throughout the whole stream, I would think.
Yeah, look at that top
going on,
corner in
Gizmo?
blue. Yeah. The top corner in blue, it's going to be all kinds of diverse. For better or worse.
You guys can read that amongst yourself.
Gizmo also loved Eyes Wide Shut almost as much as Dirk.
All right. Catch a hoe and another hoe. Merry Christmas.
Is these the parties you have in America?
Mel says, definitely a mess of a movie, but that's what gives it charm. Anthony, what's going on, buddy? I stopped watching Columbo to come hang out. What's up, guys?
Look at Columbo.
All right.
I tell Robo I want his signature on my steelbook. What's going on, Holland? Back to Gizmo. All right, Monica says, hey, guys, good to see you all, especially Craig.
Hey, Monica.
What's up?
Hold on. We're here to serve the fans.
Thanks for joining. Come on. Give us a nice little look. Give us a little.
Give us some alone time. That's all I need is a minute.
Gizmo said, subjective perspective collective. If you have not seen Blood Beat, watch it. I had it a long time, but did first see it today. That movie's crazy.
I'll watch it if Vinegar Syndrome decides to ship it to me.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have
Maybe one day.
I put a lot. I made some calls, called in some favors.
I do have my box of Vinegar Syndrome down here. One day I'm going to make a video unboxing that. I've had it for a couple days
it's
now.
Possibly the greatest ancient ghost samurai Christmas movie ever made.
And there's tons of those.
It might be the best. It might be number
There's a
one.
fucking plethora of them.
Yeah.
All right, saying hey to everybody. Oh, all right. Everybody saying hey back and forth. All right, Dirk knows all the secret handshakes to get into my Illuminati.
Any Illuminati, yeah.
All right, saying hey to Dill. All right, guys, we are caught up and we can move on. All right, Tommy, you're up, buddy.
All right, number 4 in my top 5. I knew that this was going to play somewhere. It had to, and I have a feeling this will probably be on some of your guys' list. Maybe, maybe not, but it's, again, something I have to watch every single year. Of course, is Gremlins.
Yes.
Yes.
There's so much I can say about this movie and what hasn't been said about it, but Joe Dante, and this came out in, what was it, 85, 86, something like that?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I remember, like, growing up, like, when I was little, and I was first introduced to this movie, it's always something that I wanted to watch every Christmas, because obviously there's a lot about it that's not really scary for a little kid. And of course there's a lot that is, but I remember as a kid always forcing myself to watch this, because I liked it, but of course there were some scary parts that I always turned away at, but I still try to force myself to watch it every year. But I've loved it ever since. And there's so funny, but of course everybody in the world has had the Die Hard discussion. It's not a Christmas movie, it is a Christmas movie. And I was having this argument with my wife one day, and so we're going back and forth on whether or not Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And I remember she goes, Die Hard a Christmas movie? That's like saying Gremlins is a Christmas movie. I'm like, well, hold on a minute. I'm like, so you're saying that Gremlins is not a Christmas movie? I'm like, are you crazy? Like, it is the most Christmas movie in the world. It like starts with the song Christmas, and yeah, anyways, but that was the funniest argument. I'm like, I cannot believe you just said that this is not a Christmas movie. But yeah, anyways, it is so good, you guys. I love everything about this movie. I have to watch it every single year, and not a huge fan of the sequel, but it's okay. But I will end by just saying that no, there's no way. I swear, I promise, I do not cry at the end when he goes. I do not cry at that part ever.
I cry every time. I know it's coming. I cry every time.
It's like, oh no, here it comes. Oh no.
Why is it so sad?
I don't know. You see Zach Galligan or Gallagher or whatever, he gets all wet, like all teary-eyed, and
the music.
So sad. It's just such a sad moment. And I love the character of his dad. I wish he was more in the movie, because I love his character.
Oh yeah, the bathroom book.
Yeah, I love his character. I just hate that he's not in the movie a lot.
We always get him. We get him mixed up with the sheriff from
Rambo, First Blood. Yeah,
Brian Dennehy.
Yeah, I always get those two mixed up all the time. But yeah, I wish we would have seen more of him, with more of him and the Gremlins together and stuff. Like, I thought that would be cool, because he's just like one of my favorite characters from the movie. But yeah, the Gremlins, you guys, so damn good.
Great entry horror, a good entry point for horror for people that never, kids and stuff like that.
Yeah,
get them on the right track.
It really shows how different kids movies were back then. Because that scene about the dad stuck in the damn chimney, that's really dark for a fucking kids movie.
It's dark all the way through. You know what I mean? From start to end, it's dark. You know what I mean?
I agree though with kids. Like, I think Gremlins is probably one of the first horror movies I introduced to all my kids when they were old enough.
Yeah.
I just wish we got a better slip on 4K.
Yeah.
I think there's a new 4K coming. That
is kind of lame. And
it's got the artwork is like the guy walking down like the alley with the Mogwai, he's holding, it's a back view of it. I think I saw that somewhere.
I mean, the picture's not too bad. I don't like the yellow. It doesn't make sense. I don't know.
It's a little generic for an iconic,
Very generic.
Yeah, I mean,
very generic.
To be fair, there's been 2 Blu-ray releases of it in the UK, and both of those are shit as well. You know, I mean, the artwork on both is terrible.
Yeah. I like the old school original one with like the holding the present, and you can see it peeking out.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite cover. I love that one.
Yeah.
But there you go. Thanks.
So, second pick for me, we already look at Raymond Briggs' Father Christmas. Next one is if this film doesn't make you feel Christmassy, or if this film doesn't sum up Christmas in the whole 25 minutes that it's on, then there's something entirely wrong with you. But it's Raymond Briggs' first film that came to come out, and that was, forget something, The Snowman.
I love that movie.
The original The Snowman, I mean, one unbelievable film. 1982, based from a Raymond Briggs book. The film adaptation of this is somewhat unbelievable how good this was for the time it came out. Oscar nominated, BAFTA winning. I mean, this when it came out was hitting all the marks as a Christmas film. The whole song to it was done by a young choir singer, a guy called Ali Jones. Ali Jones was like he's well known within the UK. He's from Wales, but originally Ali Jones didn't do the song for it. So the song that everyone knows to this film, "Walking in the Air," wasn't originally Ali Jones. It was another guy, and then his voice broke just before this film came out. So for a choir boy, he was absolutely fucked. So they had to find somebody else, and they found Ali Jones, and he took over the role. The whole premise of the film is the young boy. Again, there's not a single word spoken in this film. Not a single word spoken, and it's all to do with the visuals. It's all to do with the music, how atmospheric it makes it feel. The young kid who's one of the stars of the film, he makes a snowman, and for some reason at midnight on Christmas Eve, it comes to life, and they have this sort of magical adventure for 15 minutes. And then the snowman brings him back home from the adventure. He gets up Christmas Day morning, and the snowman's gone. The snowman's melted. And that's that. That's the story. But if you listen to the original story that Raymond Briggs wrote, it was never about that. It was about children dealing with death. So it had this really dark undertone to it. And it was nothing to do with the snowman melting. It was a dark story about children dealing with death and death within the family. But then when sort of British TV got the rights to it, and they made this TV film, they had to sort of line it up a bit, and this is what they came out. If you've never seen this, then this is about as Christmassy as a film will ever make you feel. And every year we watch this, and I've watched this since it came out in 1982. I have never missed a year of watching this. It's unreal how good this is. It's only on for 20-25 minutes. It's really, really short, but probably one of the best Christmas films you'll ever watch. The Snowman.
Is it just me, or is it also whenever he says Christmassy? Christmassy.
Let's start doing parlor tricks with them. Let's get him to say words and that sound weird. Tell us how to say aluminum.
Fuck off. Me and you was on about this the other day, and it's not fucking aluminum. It's aluminium. There's no such word as aluminum. It's aluminium. I mean?
This is all the time. I knew a British guy here one time that couldn't say binoculars. He would say binoculars. And I'd go, I'm going to hit you in the face if you say that again. I'm telling you, dude.
Binoculi.
Binoculars is what he would say instead of binoculars. I'm just going like, dude, you're in America right now. Okay, take that shit back with you. That's fine. But here we say binoculars.
I gotta say though, Tony, that was a really good pick. I haven't seen that since I was probably 9 or 10, and I always forget.
I've never seen it.
I gotta find. I know that I'm pretty sure we have a DVD here of it in the States. I'm pretty sure there's a DVD. I just have to find it, but I would love to see that again. I remember watching that so many times as a kid on TV.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame that none of this Raymond Briggs stuff, apart from you guys may know a film called When the Wind Blows.
Yeah.
I think Severin put it out on Severin Kids Line a few years back, and it's basically about a nuclear bomb being dropped on the UK. It's the same guy, Raymond Briggs. It's the same guy did that. I mean, it's a fucking soul destroying film. It's awful, but it's also beautiful at the same time. And if you like that style of animation, the Raymond Briggs stuff you'll love, and the Snowman is top level. It's unbelievable how good it is, and there's not a single word uttered in that film.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that.
There's nothing whatsoever, and all it solely relies on is how good the animation is, and seriously how good the music is in that film. And the music, if the music doesn't make the hairs stand up on the back of your neck, then you hate Christmas, because it is unreal how good it is.
It's funny, when I was a kid, like really little, and I seen that for the first time, I always would build a snowman outside, and I always hoped that it would come to life, not like Frosty the Snowman, but like the snowman from that movie, because I wanted to go flying in the sky with him.
Down here in Florida, we used to build snowmen all the time. We did the same thing.
Well, what happens between these two films is, so if you watch The Snowman, you find that the part of the journey that he goes on with the snowman, he goes to see Father Christmas at the North Pole, and it's this Father Christmas he goes and sees.
No shit.
So in this film, you get to see part of this film.
That's awesome.
This film. So the two films are linked together, but there's about 11 years difference in the two films. This came out first, then this came out second, but the two films are intertwined.
That's awesome.
And again, the quick in and out, you can watch both films in under an hour.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice. Good stuff, man. I'll check them out.
All right. So my number 4, and I think this is going to be on a couple of people's lists, because this is just a 90s classic that I think everybody just needs to see and own in their collection. Tommy and I always talk about this, like we wish it would come to 4K, just like any movie that we love and obsess over. We wish it comes to 4K with a slip. But this is a yearly watch for me, and me and Tommy even did a spoof cover of this movie, and it's called Jingle All the Way. So recently, this movie got popular again because Funko re-released the Turbo Man figure that Tiger Electronics put out back in '96 to coincide with the movie's release. But this is one of those movies that just shows you that Arnold can do comedy, and he's so good at it too. I don't know if it's unintentional, but like he's really good in the comedy, especially like with this and Kindergarten Cop. Like he's the man. He really is.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, this is my favorite Arnold movie next to Predator. I think what actually started the what the fuck am I saying? I'm just so seriously tired. Sorry, guys. But
cut. Take 2.
What's that?
All right, we'll start it over. Let's cut and go back. You know, it's not live or anything.
Oh my God.
Real quick.
I'm trying to like stay away from this chat this time because
Dude, why don't you thank everybody again for having you on the stream that you came up with?
First of all, thank you guys for having me on the stream.
All right, see you, Chris.
Hope everyone's been sticking to keto, all that stuff. But what inspired this movie, it was kind of like a mix between like the Tickle Me Elmo craze and the Cabbage Patch Kids craze.
Yeah.
And then they wrote a script based on this. But Arnold goes through great lengths to try to find his son, that Turbo Man. And just the whole movie, it's him going from store to store and just things just keep happening to him, different trouble he keeps getting in with the cop and everything. This was filmed in Minnesota, and me and Tommy went to some of the filming locations, especially Mall of America, where big scene in that film. Sinbad, Sinbad's really good in this.
What's it called? The diner, Mickey's Diner.
Mickey's Diner, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you got Sinbad in this. You got Phil Hartman in this. Rita Wilson, Tom Hanks' wife.
Mm-hmm.
The kid that was in Star Wars, he was pretty good in this movie, but then Star Wars kind of tanked his career.
Belushi is the mob Santa is hysterical. You just
assaulted
a toddler over a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, Sinbad getting tackled in the mall, going Rodney King, Rodney King. I didn't know what that meant when I was a kid, but then when I learned about what Rodney King was, and I was like, oh my god, that's hilarious. Why did they even put this in a kids movie?
Sinbad says, "I have the ear of a snake."
Oh, no. But this is definitely one of those ones that's just so highly quotable. Again, the soundtrack is fantastic. This really does put you in the Christmas feels. I mean, it, like Tony said again, nostalgia. It really is. This is one that I have to watch multiple times during December. I just can't get enough of it. Hopefully, me and Tommy can put out some more spoof covers of this one. We also wrote a bunch based on this movie.
Yeah, we have tons.
But yeah, I think it's tied with Predator for my favorite Arnold movie. But if you haven't seen Jingle All the Way, please check this out. The Family Fun Edition, don't watch that one. All right, it's kind of like one of those things with like reindeer games, like and Dumb and Dumber with like the director's cuts.
Yeah.
It's like it's extended with like scenes that don't really fit in the movie that well, and the soundtrack's all different. And just stick with the theatrical version. And hopefully one day, now that like the Fox and Disney merger happened, I'm hoping that we get this on 4K with a slip. That'd be pretty cool. But
with a slip, so we can actually watch it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a slip.
Actually watch the movie.
The DVD release of this had a slip. The DVD release got a slip. The Blu-ray didn't. But yeah, hopefully Disney will put this out next year, 4K slip, just like the Santa Claus. But yeah, Jingle All the Way.
You know, that movie. Okay, I'm gonna shit on it for 30 seconds.
Go ahead.
Arnold sucks as an actor. He's always sucked as an actor. The cast around him, he does his part. Don't get me wrong. But the cast around him is on fire. They're all so good. And that Phil Hartman, Sinbad, Jim Belushi, everybody he runs into is hysterical. And I think that really elevates it, man. Phil Hartman in it is, those are the lines I quote, is the Phil Hartman lines, where he's this fucking smarmy dude that's banging all the housewives in town. I just, it's great. That safely nestled under my tree. You know,
you can't bench press your way out of this one.
You can't bench press your way out of this one. Yeah,
I'm gonna deck your halls, bub.
You know, Craig, that's a really good movie and everything, and I like it, but it's nowhere near as good as Jingle All the Way Part 2 with Larry the Cable Guy.
Don't even get me started. Don't get me started.
You know what's funny about Jingle?
And that motherfucker has a slip. What the hell?
Get a slip.
Why does that one get a slip and not the first one?
All right, Tommy, calm down. You know
Because
what you're doing. Don't get excited about the slips. No, like the thing with that movie too, it's like, why wasn't Tom Arnold in that movie? Tom Arnold and Arnold are like best friends. And I think they could have had Tom Arnold doing something in there. Phil Hartman's part, or something.
Yeah,
you know, I would have liked to see more of them together after True Lies.
True Lies.
Yeah.
But as Craig mentioned, we did a spoof cover on it, which is over on my channel. But what's really funny, Craig, didn't you say that when you posted that spoof on Instagram, didn't Brian Levant comment?
Oh yeah, we did a spoof cover of just like the one scene where Howard's about to leave to try to go look for Turbo Man, and Phil Hartman kind of stops him. Where are you off to so early? So we did a little spoof cover of that, and we posted it on Instagram. And I just tagged Jingle All the Way, and Brian Levant actually commented on it and said, "Great stuff, guys." The director of the
Yep. That was awesome. But yeah, great pick, man.
Yeah, man.
All right.
What you got, Brett?
Well, I'm going to keep it light, fun, just like, same spirit, 1980, Christmas Evil.
Christ.
You will not find a darker, more heinous Christmas movie. This is a terrible Vinegar Syndrome release, but it's the best we got. The scan's good, but the special features are lame. If there aren't any hardly, there's no fucking, there's not even subtitles on this. And this in no way represents the movie at all. It's an unraveling mind story, but it's the man, just basically goes nuts over Christmas. 1980, written and directed by Lewis Jackson. Don't know I'm not familiar with his work. Toy factory foreman with a Christmas obsession and PTSD that he fought after he gets after finding out that Santa isn't real by walking in on his mom and Santa going at it as a child. It scarred him for life. Immediately starts like cutting himself after that. I mean, it really ruins everything for him. It's insanely dark. Like I said, it's an unraveling mind story, which I always like. Christmas is coming, and this dude is already way into Christmas. He snaps, of course, over an incident and goes on a killing spree after becoming Santa Claus. Now, I don't think he's like some people dress up as Santa Claus, and this dude is all the way in on Santa Claus, and he's a vengeful Santa, and he is like I said, he's on a killing spree. It's hilarious, it's awesome, but it is insanely dark too. The ending, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. The ending is my favorite part of the movie. A lot of people, it's polarizing, the ending. They don't really like it. They don't really get it. He's basically he confesses to his brother that, what happened, and he blames his brother, and he's chased through the town by the village, the villagers, the people of the town, with fucking torches, like an old school monster movie. And I won't spoil it from there, but it's a very interesting ending, and it's a lot of fun. Works perfect for me. Like I said, this does not represent the movie at all. This is kind of a lame release from Vinegar Syndrome, but it's the best we've got. I think there's an 88 films or a 101. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm hoping for a 4K. They did a good scan on this, but this feature sucked. With some real features would be nice. But if you haven't seen this one, it is definitely one I watch every year. I was not, one of those kids watching, Home Alone and stuff like that. This is the kind of shit I was watching as a kid. So this one's really good. Like I said, he actually becomes Santa Claus, and it's a winner, man. So if you haven't seen this one, check it out.
The slip is really
that's
cool.
a fun movie.
It's a nice slip. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again,
it doesn't represent the movie.
Yeah,
I had that movie. I actually sold that one to CK over at Death Pit. He bought some of my Vinegar Syndrome. I was looking on the shelf for it. I was like, damn, I sold that one. So I kind of regret that now.
Yeah, it's got I'm sure it's 88 films that have got it out over here.
Yeah.
But we rarely see any Vinegar Syndrome in the UK. Very, very rare.
Yeah.
On shelves anywhere. But if you do find a Vinegar Syndrome title on the shelves, it's always Christmas Evil. So fuck only knows how many copies are out of that. There must be loads.
Yeah. I would like to see a Legacy Slip 4K upgrade from them. I would like to see it this year, but didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm so happy that we got a slip on Christmas Evil because now I can actually watch it.
So following the same theme as Brad there, I'm going to keep the family-friendly part of this going. And my number 4 is going to be Bad Santa.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a yearly watch. I watch this throughout the year. It ain't just at Christmas. I love Bad Santa. Billy Bob Thornton is a heinous son of a bitch in this. I love the what's the politically right thing to say? The little guy. Tony Cox, I think is his name.
The little person.
He's great in this. I love their back and forth. The movie came out in 2003. It was directed by Terry Zwigoff, which I'm not familiar with. The one thing that I did find out was the Coen brothers actually redid the script before it actually was made. Whatever. I thought that was kind of neat. I never knew that.
No shit. That's awesome.
Well, I'm sorry. They actually revised the screenplay. But Billy Bob Thornton said that he was genuinely intoxicated during some of the filming, and the escalator scene, the escalator fall scene, he actually passed out drinking 3 glasses of red wine for breakfast, followed by vodkas, cranberry juice, and a few Bud Lights just to get into the role. If you guys haven't seen this, I'm telling you, he is a dirty dog son of a bitch in this movie. He is so fucking fun to watch. This movie was made for Billy Bob Thornton. He plays that white trash, redneck, don't give a damn. He plays it to a T. And he does it good in this. This was John Ritter. John Ritter's great in this. Rest in peace. This was his last film before he passed away. And they actually dedicated the movie to his memory, which I thought was kind of cool. Bernie Mac also passed away. Bernie Mac's fantastic in this. I was a huge Bernie Mac fan. And hated to lose him, man. It says, Tony Cox ad-libbed I'm quoting here, "You probably shouldn't be digging in your ass." Found the line so funny that he admitted to repeatedly cracking up on set, and even the director left it in the movie and repeatedly cracking up on set every time he said it. And Jack Nicholson actually read the script and wanted to do the film, but he had to turn it down because he was already committed to doing a movie called Something's Got to Give, which that movie sucked. My wife made me watch it with her, and it wasn't good. Let's see what else I got here. But yeah, guys, y'all need to see this movie. It's very fucking rewatchable. There's so many different cuts of this movie. I don't remember which one is which. I think I always watch the director's cut. But the cuts are great. But this movie does have something else here. It says the word fuck is used. The word fuck and its variations are used 159 times. The word shit appears 73 times. Who counts all this shit? There's over 300 profanities. The unrated version of the film furthers the record for the most profanities in a Christmas movie, including 170 uses of fuck, 74 uses of shit, 31 uses of ass, 10 uses of bitch, and 1 bastard, and a partridge in a pear tree. But guys, it's a fucking great movie. I love this movie. It's very rewatchable. Bad Santa 2 was fun too. Not as good as the first one, but yeah. Great movie.
Bad Santa 2 got a 4K, didn't it?
Without a slip, though. No slip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thurman Merman. Everybody while I'm reading the chat here. All right.
I love when he passes out when he's like right in front. He's literally, the kids are sitting on his lap. He passes out and he kind of wakes up and he gets scared by I don't know, it was a horse or something there. He knocks his fucking head off. He's like trying to kick him as he's on the ground, and they're dragging him away. And he just I know it was ad-libbed 100%. Billy Bob Thornton goes, "I'm pissing myself." They're dragging him away. I'm telling you, dude.
You can tell the part of that movie that he ad-libs, and he does it a lot in that movie.
Oh yeah,
and it's gold, man. And that poor kid, man, that kid that thinks he's the real Santa, he's something else.
Thurman Merman. Yeah.
Thurman Merman. There you go. Thank you. I was drawing a blank there.
How much lettuce do you want? I don't know, the normal amount.
And he was about a sandwich making bitch. Make me some goddamn sandwiches then.
What is it with you and the goddamn sandwiches?
All right, guys. I think that's where we left off. Sorry if I missed anybody. All right. Bob, what's going on, buddy? Now, I did ask Bob earlier in the week if he wanted to join us. I can't remember if he has something going on, but maybe next time, Bob, you can catch us. I know he did a top 5 this past Monday. So there's been a lot of these top 5 guys. We definitely ain't breaking any new ground here, but something we definitely wanted to do. Appreciate being here, Bob. Mel says, "What's up to Bob?" Yeah, right. This is all Craig. This is Craig's stream, guys. I'm just working for Craig here.
Yeah.
Says, "Bob, you got to watch from the beginning." Yeah. I think they're talking about the first pick that was pulled. Leonard says, "Dodger said, hi, Dad. He wants to say hi back to him."
Hey, Dodger.
What's up, Dodger? All right. Gizmo said, "We should make Blood Beat 2. You buy the rights, Brad. I can get my dog to play a samurai, and my neighbor's cat is perfect for the orgasm scene."
See what I'm dealing with?
Oh my God.
Well, I say, "Hey, the mail, I'll do that tonight." What's up to Bob? What's going on, Mika? Appreciate you being here, dear.
Hey, Mika.
All right, what's up, Culture? Just saying hey. All right, hey, now I gave in on Gremlins.
Oh, yeah. Compromises in every marriage.
Yeah.
All right, Andy says, "What up, Mika, Bob, Dale, and Mel? Welcome to the party." Mika says, "Gremlins is a great one. I must watch for this time of the year."
For sure.
Tony, there's the man.
Tony, what's up?
What's up?
Well, this is Anthony, long time, man. Hope you're doing well. All right. Gizmo says, "Gremlins has bad color grade on the 4K. Try to compare it with the blue. It is good overall, just terrible color grading scenes with red and yellow." Callis says, "Happy holidays, people. I appreciate the same to you, man." Hey, Tony says, the Snowman is one I want to add to the collection."
Yeah, I'd love it.
I kind of want to watch it. I've never seen them.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe there's someone not done a full Blu-ray collection of all this, the Raymond Briggs stuff yet, but they haven't. So if you're looking for it, Tony, unless there is a Blu-ray in the US, there's definitely not one in the UK. Look for the DVD special edition. It's been remastered on that particular DVD. There's numerous DVD releases of it, but try and look for that one. It's got loads of good bonus material on it as well as.
All right, good. So the Snowman is great. Was on Norwegian television for years before they swapped it with a boring ass movie dubbed in Norwegian. Sad movie. All right, Dirk says we need a Midwinter Solace movie where Vikings celebrate the longest night of the year with songs, games, feast, orgies, and sacrifices for the gods and their ancestor spirits for 12 days straight.
See, again,
I was just talking about that, Dirk.
Yeah.
Well thought out.
Yeah.
That just sounds like festivities where I live. That.
Yeah. Sounds like some UK pagan holiday.
Yeah.
Because so the Snowman is sad, but the Jake movie is just poop from rats. He's Norwegian, guys. Cut him some slack. Trinity says, "What's up?" Jess says, "My older kiddo's dad is from the UK, and his mom used to cringe so terribly at some words. I would say she definitely was unamused by the northern phrases like, don't you, what's that first one there? Don't you know, and my personal phase."
Yeah. Depending on whereabouts in the north you're from. I'm from the north, but problem is within the UK, it's such a small place, but there's like 700 regional accents. So it doesn't matter where you're from in the UK, every fucker sounds different. So it's dead hard to pinpoint down where everyone's from.
They can't understand. They can't understand each other. How the fuck are we supposed to understand?
Like within a 25-mile radius of where I'm from, there's probably about 6 different regional dialects.
Wow.
I mean, it's a crazy place.
Tony, have you ever tried doing an accent to sound like us?
See, no, because doing a US accent's really difficult. Because again, I could chat with some of you guys, and you all sound completely different. Now, it is weird. It is hard to do.
Is it?
It would be like you guys trying to do like a northern accent like I've got, because predominantly for you guys, everyone sounds like they're from London.
Yeah.
So everyone sounds on US television. Everybody sounds quintessential English, right?
Yeah.
And that's a really small minority of people in London who sound like that. The rest of the country sound like me. You know what I mean? But
if I had some duct tape and a sack of marbles to put in my mouth and cover with duct tape, I could probably do your accent pretty good. I think.
Dude, that's what it's like. And further north you go, the worse it is.
Yeah. Now you can go all over and have all kinds of different. You go deep into the Northeast, you get up into the New England, it's totally different. And even Craig, who's in Philly, who's in the Northeast, you get into New England, they say it's all over the place. And then the South is a whole another planet compared to the North. You know.
I mean, the one then says don't you know? Well, don't you know is just a phrase that everybody in the UK uses.
Well, that's in Minnesota. If you go into the country, that they talk like that. They'll say, "Don't you know?" You know, it's you know. And Tommy's from the Minnesota area, but he lives in the city. Once you get out of the city, they start to talk almost kind of Canadian and weird.
Yeah, they sound like Canadians.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you know? Yeah.
And then they go, "What the heck do you mean? We don't talk like that. Don't you know?" You sound weird, not us.
All right, Gizmo says, when the wind blows is insane. Loved it. A kid movie about grandparents dying slowly. It makes a Serbian film and threads look like a children film. Damn.
Yeah, if you've never seen When the Wind Blows, like I said, BFI released it in the UK. Severin put it on Severin's Kids Line for some fucking bizarre reason, because it definitely isn't a kids film, even though it's done by Raymond Briggs. If you've never seen it, grab yourself a copy. It will destroy your soul. There's no getting your soul back after watching that film. It will rot you from the inside out. It's a beautiful film, and it's a terrible film at the same time.
Yeah.
No wonder Gizmo loves it.
Digatana65 says, Brokeback Mountain. Boss says, Jingle All the Way is great. All right, Anthony says, my number 5 is The Ref. It's a fun movie. Very underrated Christmas film. Dennis Leary is a thief who takes Kevin Spacey and Judy Davis hostage during Christmas until he can make a quick getaway. It's hilarious.
I don't know that one.
It's a good one.
Oh, it's good, man. The ref's a good one.
Dale says Jingle All the Way is fantastic.
Would be more fantastic if I had a slip.
Mika likes Jingle All the Way, says a fun one. Gizmo says, put that movie down. Don't make me do it on Schwarzenegger impersonation. It's bad.
Put that movie down now.
Mika says,
I'll do it. Put the movie down.
All right, Jess says, my dad was an extra in Jingle All the Way. That's cool. The scene downtown outside right before the toy store. Cool. Bob said, did someone say reindeer games?
Yeah,
that was
Tommy
the first one pulled, man. All right, Gizmo says reindeer games in Norwegian means homosexual house party.
That sounds right. Sounds
He
about
says,
right.
my number 4 is Home Alone 2. I love the New York setting. Tim Curry and Rob Schneider are great in this movie. And you have the sticky bandits instead of the wet bandits.
Mr. McAllister.
But how did they die?
What, Tony? What section is Tim Curry from? Like, what accent is he? Is he London?
Yeah, he's London. Yeah.
London, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I said, Brad, that's my second favorite Christmas horror movie. On my Christmas
That's
Evil
a
there.
good one,
Mika
man.
says Christmas Evil is a fun watch. It is a fun watch. Gizmo says Christmas Evil is so great, a movie that needs multiple watches. I agree, Brad, it caps off the movie nicely.
I love that ending. I'm a diehard fan of that ending.
I have to check out Christmas Evil. It sounds badass. Sometimes Santa has to bang a MILF to keep the spirit of Christmas alive. It says Billy Bob is probably my top Santa. Or bad Santa is the shit that don't stink. Well said, Dirt. Gizmo said, Cox is so fun in Bad Santa. I think he's even better in Me, Myself, and Irene. Yeah. Because Bernie Mac is so hilarious in the film, and Bernie Mac's hilarious in everything. Bernie Mac, you got some lip on you, midget. Tony Cox, yeah. Well, these lips were on your wife. Don't you dust that leg off every once in a while?
Oh yeah. His interactions with John Ritter are hysteric. Bernie Mac is like, just as cool as ice, don't give a fuck about anything. And then you got, John Ritter's so uptight, and it's there just between them, their dialogue is hilarious. Anytime they have any kind of discussion with each other, just John Ritter is so uncomfortable, and Bernie Mac's like just throwing peanuts in his mouth, just talking about the most heinous shit ever. Couldn't bother him at all, and I don't know, it's just great.
All right, well, Rachel says, I'm back from eating catfish. Okay.
He must be in the
Anthony
South.
says, hit the like button, guys. Appreciate it, Anthony. What's up, SPC? All right, JMM85. When will Tommy Starr be back with the Halls?
Right? I'll
Good answer.
just did my recent Blu-ray update, so I'll be posting that soon.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I'm behind too, man. I got a Vinegar Syndrome box unopened. I got a Kino box down there unopened. I got a couple other videos I need to do, man. I'm falling behind. Kizmo said Master 80s has a cool English slang. I think it's hard to take my bosses serious when they come with that London feminine style.
Yeah.
All right, Tony has such a great accent and laugh. Yeah, I agree. I always say he's got the best laugh on the internet. Really enjoying having you in the mix on the stream, man. Yeah.
Why couldn't we got one of those?
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Why couldn't we got one of those fancy British guys to class up the fucking place?
What's that Christmas Horror Story? Yeah, we don't talk politics here.
Oh, the next one.
All right, moving on. All right, Tom, number 3, man.
Damn it! I got to stop eating.
What is that keto snack you are eating?
It was
Snack you want to share with us?
I don't know, but whatever it was, there's no carbs.
It's keto pizza.
By the way, you're very brave You're very brave for wearing a red shirt to the stream. It's very festive and non-keto, by the way.
No, I thought we're all wearing red. Did you guys get the memo?
It's a Christmas theme, okay? You know,
it was supposed to be red or green.
Yeah, I got this shirt from Scream Factory for spending $100. They gave me this gift.
Oh, you got a free shirt for spending $100. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So that means we're at our top 3 now. So yeah, now we're getting into the really, really good stuff. So
getting into the meat.
Right. So for me, yeah, I had to go with Scrooge.
Oh, hell
yes.
It's this movie's so damn good. It's okay. So 1988, Richard Donner, and you know, we all know that A Christmas Carol is obviously one of the most famous Christmas stories of all time, and the idea that they went for with this movie was just so clever, just to give it a funny, you know, darker tone to it, and who better than Bill Murray to play this part? And I just love it. You got a really fun cast, a lot of really cool cameos, and Danny Elfman on the score. I felt fit this movie so perfectly. But yeah, I love it so much. I hope you get a 4K at some point. But I think what's really interesting about this movie, and I remember being so like it was kind of weird the first time seeing this movie with how serious it gets at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was such a weird transition, but I love it. I mean, it's so weird, goofy, and funny, and odd, and all in a good way. And then you get to the end, and it's like, whoa, where did that?
The Ghost of Christmas Future is always the scary one, and it works. Yep. It works really well when he's in that coffin and they're putting him in they're burning him. It don't burn me. Oh, it's great.
Oh, it was, man. Yeah. So intense and believable, and Bill Murray just one hell of a performance. And like I said, the ending, like the very ending when you know, when he's talking to everybody, and you know, it just starts getting really emotional. It's just like, damn, it's like it really, you know, tends to bring you to tears. It brings me to tears at the very end of the movie, especially when the little boy finally speaks, you know.
Yeah.
It's really a really emotional moment in that movie. But yeah, Bobcat Goldthwait is awesome in this movie.
Yeah.
I just love it. What exactly does that ad have to do with Christmas?
Pete, this is gonna scare people. I want them to be scared. I want them to be terrified that if they miss this.
You think I'm way up here? Yes, well, you're a dad off facer. But yeah, it had to be in here. It's just, I always look forward to watching this movie. It's so fun, and as many times as I've seen it, it never gets old. So yeah, had to be in my top 3 for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
Bill Murray
it is brilliant.
Really, really good at playing an asshole.
Yeah,
if you never noticed that, man, that is what he was born to do, was to play a prick, and he does it perfectly. Alexander Cross was my hero as a child, and one day I hope to get there. But I love that fucking movie, and it's an icon, man. It's timeless.
I love the scene where it's towel, VHS, towel.
Yeah, towel.
It's towel. Your brother, towel.
It's your brother, towel. But it's the bit for me in that film though, and there's loads of really good little bits that sort of separate themselves from the film.
Yeah.
But it's the preview he does for the night the reindeer died.
Oh yeah.
Fucking unfucking believable. Yeah. And then Lee Majors turns up with a case full of M16s. You know what I mean? Right. Just to take these terrorists. Just fucking genius. That on its own could have been a film.
That trailer is Tony's wettest dream for a movie. I just have an idea what Tony is. If that movie was real, that would be his favorite movie of all time.
That would be there. And like I said, to use Lee Majors, and then for Father Christmas to know who fucking Lee Majors is in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the opening scene of the movie.
Yeah, it's
fantastic. The early stuff.
Real good boy this year.
Yeah.
The first act is my favorite, but I love when he goes by his secretary's desk and he happens to glance up at the wall, and there's a picture that her little son Drew of Santa Claus. And he's like, Grace, what the hell is this? And she's like, well, one of my kids did it. And he says, look at this. How many fingers does Santa Claus have here? And she goes, I don't know, 11? He goes, exactly, 11. It's crap. And rips it off the wall, crumbles it up, and throws it in the trash right in front of her.
If I can't work late, I can't work late.
If you can't work late, I can't work late. And if I can't work late, I can't work late.
The best part is when he makes his drink, he has a glass full of whiskey and puts a couple little drips of tab in it. You know, it's great.
Craig, didn't you say you watched that for the first time recently?
About 2 years ago, I watched it for the first time. It was just one of those ones that you kind of I kept skipping over because I already had my favorites that I keep going to every year.
Yeah.
But, even like seeing it, in the late 2010s or whatever. Yeah, it was 2019 when I saw it. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I
thought it was really good.
It holds up.
I was tearing my eye. I'm like, whoa, I didn't expect the movie to be like this. Like, you guys know.
I think 3 of Bill Murray's brothers are in that.
Yeah, his brothers.
I know his brother in the movie is his brother in real life. He has 2 other brothers. I don't remember their roles, but
I mean, they're the perverts are like, you see, you can't even see them nipples, and these guys are really looking.
And by the way, you can hardly see them nipples. That part was ad-libbed, by the way. They left that in there. The guy just threw that out there when he was doing this.
I want to see her nipples. Charles Dickens would have wanted to see her.
They're
you please stop the goddamn hammering.
Yeah, they're building that set.
God!
Stop the damn hammering.
John Glover is such a dick in that movie.
Oh yeah,
the guy, the Bryce Cummings, who's like, got hired to help him.
Yeah,
it's
Mr.
like
Croft's having a rough go. I love that bit. That whole movie.
That waiter catches on fire. He says, "For a minute, I thought you were Richard Pryor." So everybody, welcome to the Scrooge stream. We're doing a deep dive on Scrooge here.
I can talk about that movie forever, man.
And like I said, there are so many good individual sections to it. It's great.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on. What you got, man?
Right, Martin. Right. Again, anyone that's on here that knows my channel and knows my love of the Muppets knows that there's at least one Muppet film going to be in this pile for me. And this one isn't a well-known film. A lot of people may have never come across it. The film, well, it was a TV special more than a film in '88. This damn thing is as rare as rocking horse shit now. You cannot find a copy of this anywhere, but it is A Muppets Family Christmas. Probably the second best thing that the Muppets have done. Considering this is just as a TV special, it kicks a lot of the Muppet films fucking asses like you wouldn't believe. If you're an 80s nostalgia head and you remember the Muppets and you remember Sesame Street and you remember Fraggle Rock, you get all of that in here. Everything that Henson did on a TV show ends up in this one TV special. It's about 45 minutes to an hour long, something like that. Again, in typical Muppet style, there's loads of sing-along sections in it. There's loads of musical numbers in it, but the musical numbers hold up really well. The whole premise of the film is that everyone's going to Fozzie's mum's for the holidays, for Christmas. And when they get there, there's a massive snowstorm, and Piggy is late as per usual, and Piggy gets lost. But as that whole story is unfolding, more and more Muppets characters turn up, and then the whole Sesame Street gang turns up, and then the whole Fraggle Rock gang turns up, and it just has this out of this world Muppets experience. If you've never seen this, again, it's really hard to get hold of now. Really, really difficult to get hold of. I put this up on my YouTube channel last year, so anybody that wants to see this, go check it out on my channel, because there's only a couple of places you can get it, and that's YouTube. If you can find a DVD version of it, grab it, because this is the only reason there's ever been of it. But this is really hard to find now. And if you are a Muppets fan, you will enjoy this 100%. It is really, really good.
Wow. I never knew that the actual Muppets crossed over with the fucking Fraggle Rock.
Yeah. Awesome. So It's really good. You've got individual scenes between the Muppets characters. You've got individual scenes between the Sesame Street characters, and then the sort of weirdness setting of how the Fraggle Rock characters get brought into this. But one of the main standout characters, if you know Fraggle Rock at all, is the guy that looks after the lighthouse and his dog Sprocket. They're like two of the main characters in this. They're what hold the story together, really. And then each sort of Muppet character's brought into the fold, and then each Sesame Street character's brought into the fold. Like Swedish Chef is trying to cook Big Bird, and that for the whole 45 minutes, Swedish Chef is just chasing Big Bird around, trying to cook him for Christmas dinner. It's good. It's really good. The musical numbers stand out massively. So if you've never checked out a Muppet Family Christmas, check it out. If you're a Muppets fan, you will love it.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say a Muppet Christmas Carol, because everybody loves that. I mean, that's a big favorite.
Well.
But that's too good. That's too good to be on Tony's list. I can tell you that.
It's just a complete oddball sort of TV special that came out. Again, I never saw that on UK TV. I don't think it ever heard on UK TV at all. So the first time I got to saw that is when it got a DVD release. But the whole premise of it, the whole thing that it does, how it brings that entire sort of Henson universe, TV universe together for one Christmas special, works really well.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
It's always said Muppet Experience. At first, I thought he said Muppet Experience. That's what it sounded like he said. So that's going to be a.
That's got to be out there somewhere.
I'm interested now.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, so my next pick is one that I showed off in a previous stream. I was hoping that this movie was going to get the 4K upgrade this year. Unfortunately, it didn't happen yet. Okay, the power of yet. It's not over yet. All right, could happen next year. You never know. But to kind of like piggyback off of Brad's pick, like Brad showed Christmas Evil, and the cover of that movie is kind of misleading when you see like a slasher Santa. Like when I first saw the cover for that, I immediately bought that. I'm like, oh, it's going to be so cool, because I thought it was going to be like this movie, Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Oh yeah.
This is one of those 80s slashers that just, holiday themed, kind of like not so much piggybacking off of like the Halloween success, but I mean, it is a holiday horror movie, but it's one of those ones where it's like it follows the killer the whole movie. So the movie's just about the killer as he just kind of progresses into madness from when he's a child all the way up to his killing spree on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
This movie came out in 1984. It was originally picketed by like all these moms and parents that were like upset that there was going to be a killer Santa Claus movie. So when this came out on Blu-ray originally, it came out as like the first time it was shown with like the unrated footage that was cut from the DVD release. So the Blu-ray actually has those scenes restored with all the gore and stuff. But unfortunately for this release and the Anchor Bay release, all those restored scenes are in standard definition quality. I don't know how they couldn't scan those and make them pretty looking like the rest of the movie, but it's cool to see the added gore put back into the movie. Basically it's about, Billy Chapman. He's the killer Santa Claus who's traumatized as a kid because he sees his parents killed by a killer Santa, and he gets put in an orphanage with his little brother. And then just his whole life, he's getting abused by this nun, Mother Superior. And then finally, when the movie fast forwards 10 years, when he's an 18-year-old kid, he gets a job at a toy store. And one of his jobs during the Christmas season, he gets the job of playing Santa Claus, to take pictures with the kids in the store. And it just kind of sets him off into his madness. And then the rest of the movie, he's just going on a killing spree, just going from house to house and, killing the victims in various ways. Like he kills the people in the toy store with the hammer, the box cutter, the bow and arrow. And then there's that famous scene with the deer antlers with Linnea Quigley where he on the deer antlers. That's a cool scene. The two bullies that steal the sled from the kids and they start going down the hill. The one kid gets down at the bottom. The second kid starts sledding down and then he slices the kid's head off with the axe and the kid's waiting for his buddy to come down at the end of the hill, and all you see is just a body without a head come down.
Yeah. I love it.
But I'll tell you what, man, like this is such an awesome time. It's not really like a jump scare movie. It's just it's not really that scary, to be honest. It's just a fun watch. A really good time if you want to get together with your buddies and just watch something that you can laugh at and watch every year. The artwork on this is incredible. Like, it almost looks like it actually the lights are actually working. Tommy was talking about this when
beautiful.
when we got this. So this is done by artist Joel Robinson, who did the artwork for this one. But yeah, if you can find this edition with the slipcover, you should pick it up. Hopefully this gets the 4K upgrade next year from Scream Factory or anyone else that holds the rights. But it's definitely worthy of a 4K upgrade. So if you haven't seen Silent Night, Dead and Light, please check this out. I mean, it is an awesome time. So yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah, I had I met that dude, Robert Brian Wilson. I met him a couple years ago, and I had him sign my Scream Factory NECA figure of him. That was pretty cool. Yep,
just got my poster signed by him at Monster Mania a couple weeks ago. Real cool dude.
Awesome killer awesome Christmas slasher movie. It's one up there at the top of the list, I think, for Christmas slashers.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite. It's in my top 5 horror movies too, not just Christmas movies. Like, it's in my top 5 horror. I love that movie.
That's your number one Scream Factory too, isn't it?
It is number one Scream Factory, just for the movie and the artwork, favorite artwork as well.
Yep.
That's a good one, man.
Well, like I said before, I was not watching kids' movies as a kid, so a lot of this doesn't really coincide. Like the Christmas movies that I have, like this is the least Christmas movie of my Christmas movies, but I do watch it every fucking year, and I watch it around Christmas because, again, it takes place a few days before and a few days after Christmas. But 2001, American Psycho. It's directed by Mary Herron. It's written by Bret Easton Ellis. It's about an executive, New York. Basically, he's insane the whole time, and he's trying to keep it under wraps. Throughout the movie, there's Christmas decorations, Christmas lights. They go to Christmas parties. There's all kinds of Hamilton. Hey, have a holly jolly Christmas. Stuff like that. But it's the least Christmas movie on the list, so I'm going to keep it really short. This is just the personal one for me. This one I don't. This is an every year for me. If you haven't seen this movie, definitely see it. But there's not a lot to say that I haven't already said in 4 or 5 other streams about this movie. It comes up a lot, but Christian Bale plays Patrick Bateman, who's like I said, an executive in Manhattan. Executive vice president. There's a lot of parody among everybody. They're all yuppies. They all look the same. They dress the same and all that stuff. And his insanity gets away from him, and he loses control, and he starts not just killing hookers like he normally does. He starts killing his coworkers and friends, associates, family members, anybody that's around him. He starts to unravel, and it's an all-time great horror movie. I think a lot of people don't see it as a Christmas movie, but I do. And so I'm going to keep it extremely brief. This is a fantastic release. This Lionsgate Slip Steel book. Everybody's got it. But like I said, I'm going to keep this one brief just because. But I had to put it on there because it's in every fucking year for me. And I've seen this movie, I don't know, fucking 20 times probably. And I'll watch it every Christmas from probably the rest of my life, I would hope. But I look forward to rewatching it every year. And 4K, like people say the 4K sucks on this, but I think it's a great 4K. I think the scan's good and everything, but it's a horror movie. I don't think it's listed as a horror comedy, but there's tons of comedy in it. So it's not super as dark as this may lead. It's very comedic and it's very fun. And, women don't seem to like it very much, but maybe not watch it with your girlfriend, but watch it by yourself on Christmas. It's a good one.
That's one of my favorite movies, man. Great pick.
That's what it's all about, man. If it's a Christmas movie to you, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, guys, normally on my next one here, I always like to hold up my movie, but this one here, I didn't watch it until last Christmas for the first time, and I only got it on my Vudu account. I know that's blasphemy in this circle, but I don't have a physical copy.
Get out.
This is the Mel Gibson, Walter Goggins movie, Fat Man. the Fat Man with Mel Gibson and Walter Goggins. I just rewatched this again this morning, getting ready for the stream, and I'm a bigger fan of this movie on the second watch. This is an absolute great movie, and it almost made my number 2. But it's going to sit here at number 3, whatever. But basically, you got Mel Gibson playing Santa Claus, and it's one of my favorite portrayals of Santa Claus. I just love how Mel Gibson, the way they do the character in this movie. He's just he's Santa Claus. He has like the superpowers, but he's like a regular guy. You know, instead of driving like a sleigh around town, he drives like a old F-150, old red F-150. You know, he's married to an African American woman. And their relationship, the two of them together are just fantastic. And I mean, she'll like bake cookies like Mrs. Claus, you know, and she's like, oh, I'll bake some cookies when he's just going to town. He goes to town. He's just an old grizzled guy. He goes to a bar. He orders a drink called the Johnny Carson, which is basically just a shot of whiskey with an Alka-Seltzer in it. You know, he's worried about money. Basically, all the kids nowadays are all assholes. And so the less toys they have to make, because if the kid's an asshole, he gives them a lump of coal. And so the less toys he has to make, the less money he makes, whatever. And so they're struggling for money, and he ends up having to go to basically make a deal with the U.S. government to basically make computer chips for these new like F-13 jets or whatever the fuck it is. And so basically he has to bring all the elves back and tell them they got to basically manufacture parts for the military in order to make ends meet. Well, on the other side of the story, whatever, you got this little asshole 12-year-old kid, this rich, spoiled kid. He gets a lump of coal. I'm kind of paraphrasing here, but he gets a lump of coal in his stocking for Christmas. He loses the shit. He ends up he's really rich. He's a rich family, little asshole kid. He ends up hiring Walter Goggins. He was a personal hitman to go kill Santa Claus. Well, Walter Goggins has his own backstory where he never got shit growing up as a kid. The only thing he ever got from Santa Claus was one little toy car, like a little Matchbox car. And he was always a little asshole kid, so he never got anything from Santa. So as soon as he got the opportunity to go kill Santa Claus, go assassinate St. Nick, whatever, he jumped all over it. And this guy's a professional assassin. He's got all the gear. He basically tracks down Santa Claus. And whenever Santa Claus and this guy meets, the standoff, just the visual of Mel Gibson standing in the snow, his grizzled face, is a great shot. It's my favorite part of the movie. And this is not your typical Christmas movie. The way they portray Santa Claus in this, Mel Gibson does it 100% great. I could see this being a movie. I was introduced to it last year. I think it came out last year. But this is a movie I could see myself watching every year from here on forward. It's a great movie. It's a lot of fun. I took a few notes here on it. It's just just Walter Goggins this is probably my favorite movie of his. He has some great lines in this movie. As soon as they're standing across a snowy field, and he's hollering at Santa Claus. Santa Claus is standing in front of his house, and he screams. The way he screams is so funny. He says, "I'm looking for the Fat Man," and then somebody said, "He says Santa Claus, motherfucker." And anyway, it's just a lot of fun. Just the dialogue is great in this movie. It was a great time. I laughed my ass off watching it, and it's just enjoyable all the way around, man. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'm sure you can find it on streaming somewhere. I have it on Vudu. I do have a physical copy coming, but it's not going to be here to the 22nd. So, yeah, it's one of my favorites, but I'm a big fan of
it. Again, it's not one I know, though.
Man, you need to watch it, man.
And I haven't seen it yet. Yeah. I hear it's great. Gizmo was always talking about how good it is.
I know I'm always the bitch that has to talk about it, but yeah.
And I got that wrong. The line I just said was not the standoff, whatever. It was when he was talking to somebody earlier in the movie. Still a great line, though. I'm just going through my notes if I left anything out I wanted to talk about. Yeah, Walter Goggins, he's a brutal son of a bitch in this movie, man. He does a really good role. And what's really cool is when he gets, I don't want to ruin anything if you haven't seen it, whatever, but when he gets to where they make the toys and stuff that, all the elves and shit the story behind the elves is really cool to me. Whenever the military gets involved and stuff, it's pretty enjoyable.
That's the dude from People Under the Stairs, right?
Walter Goggins?
Goggins?
He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he was in that Predators movie. Django Unchained. Justified, the TV show Justified. Play the bad guy. Usually plays the bad guy. All right, where do we leave off at here, guys? All right, here we go. All right, Hollow Note says, I love Carol Kane's part in Scrooged.
Oh, yeah.
Scrooge is great. All right, Anthony says, is a large pizza with extra cheese and honey barbecue wings for pizza with a Pepsi chaser a part of the keto diet? If you got a diet Pepsi, it is.
The extra cheese.
Yeah, you didn't specify. Is that Diet Pepsi or at least Pepsi like 3 or something?
The extra cheese is definitely keto. The honey barbecue wings, I mean, if they were not breaded without sauce, it'd be keto.
No sauce.
And you scalp the pizza and see the toppings.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yes, the answer is yes.
Great job, Anthony. Keep it up. Regular said first time I owned Scrooge was on VHS tape. I've seen Scrooge in theaters, man. It was kind of a blind watch. I was a Bill Murray fan, but I didn't know much about it. I just went in theaters, it was playing, went to see it, loved it. Been a fan ever since. Bill Murray's brother is in Scrooge as his father.
That's right. Yeah. So two of his brothers are in that.
Yeah, and one of his brothers is also the boss in Christmas Vacation, which I'm sure will come up later.
Yeah. Kiss my ass, kiss his ass, kiss your ass, whatever.
Yeah. Give me somebody. Give me anybody. And give me somebody while I'm waiting.
Leave it over there with the others, greaseball.
Yeah, Mr. Shirley. Ken Carlson, what's going on, Ken? Hey, boys. All right. Wild Wrangler says, any breadsticks? Our TV Dude 245. I loved A Muppet Family Christmas. Such a great TV movie.
Yes.
All right. No breadsticks this time, says Anthony. They got some delicious fucking garlic cheese bread, though.
Cheese on that bread is keto.
The butter, too.
And the butter.
Wild Wrangler says, Muppet verse. Gizmo says, you're British and you're Muppets. Well, a great movie.
You Norwegian and your fucking satanic goat whore movie.
All right, Andy says my number 3 is Home Alone. You're in good company here. There's a couple Home Alone big fans there. I know 2 of them.
What do you mean big?
My number 3.
Craig, he was talking about you.
My number 3 is Home Alone. I love the entire cast, but Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern are definitely the standouts. John Candy has an excellent cameo in the film. Yep, the Polka King. Goodness said, Linnea Quigley's second most important role to me.
Sheboygan. Very big in Sheboygan.
Wild Wrangler says, Snowmageddon Christmas TV movie. We should all have an American Psycho moment in front of the mirror tonight. It is Christmas only once a year.
Yeah.
All right. Says, Fat Man is such a hidden gem, and Walton is so great in it. Yeah, he really is. It's definitely it's a very rewatchable movie. Like I said, I can see myself watching it. It's going to be an every year watch for me. There's no doubt. Wild Wrangler says the 12 Disasters of Christmas is a weird movie. Never heard of that one. Reindeer Games. All right. Gizmo says, I hated the kid and Fat Man, but that was the point. Only time I actually wanted to tell my girlfriend, we will never have one of those shit ifs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a little bastard in that, that's for sure. Alex says, I actually snagged a copy of Fat Man recently at GameStop and was so stoked. Yeah, they got one at Best Buy, whatever. It's going to be here on the 22nd. Wild Wrangler says, anyone seen The Mean One?
Oh, it's the new Grinch horror film.
The new Grinch, yeah.
Yeah, I have not seen it.
No, I'm not.
All right, Cable Channel 11. Man, there are so many good ones. Yeah, there really is. And a lot of bad ones, too, I found out. Goodness, Mel Gibson always is the best in his films, but in this, Goggins is actually still in the show. You know, Gizmo, you're right. He really is. I mean, I love Mel Gibson. There's something about the way they did him up with the beard. Just he's kind of like every man. He has every man problems. You worry about money, you worry about life, marriage, your employees, all this kind of stuff, whatever. But he's Santa Claus. He's a badass, And the first time when you get introduced to him, he's outside Target practicing. It's just I don't know. It's just such a cool premise for Santa Claus. It's one of my favorites. Our main one is Grinch Horror. Alice says, I was first introduced to Walton through Justified. Yeah, me too. I watched it from day one and have been a fan of his ever since. Such a great dramatic and comedic actor and such a great guy. I was, what do you mean big? He says Fat Man is a great Christmas movie. Walter Goggins kills it in every role he takes on. Awesome pick, Pops. Appreciate it, Nancy. 4K King, what's going on, man? Stay there. And it says Cable Channel 11. What's up, dude? Goodness says, Brad, you should not be so rude to people in the chat. I can start explaining to you Norwegian reindeer games.
I bet you could.
TBD 245. Bill Murray visited my dad's work one time. He works at a golf course, signed a bunch of stuff for people. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And he was actually here. His I want to say his daughter, maybe his granddaughter, was playing. I live in Florida, and Florida State's our local college here. And our girls' soccer team, I think it was playing, and his, I want to say granddaughter was playing on the opposing team. And he was just hanging out in one of the college bars by the stadium, just hanging out, having a drink like a regular guy. I didn't find out about a week later. If I'd have known that, I went up there and met him. He seemed like he's supposed to be a super nice guy, real laid back. Cable Channel 11 says It's a Wonderful Life, A Christmas Carol, several great versions. Christmas Vacation, Miracle on 34th, Jingle All the Way, Christmas with the Cranks, Deck the Hall, Santa Claus the Movie. Yeah, there's a bunch of good ones.
Oh, tons, man.
All right, Cable Channel 11 says, hey, man. Everybody saying hey back and forth there. 4K King says, hey there, Anthony. All right, Black Friday, Bruce Campbell. I still haven't seen that one yet. Black Friday is great. Yeah, I need to check that one out, man. I like Bruce Campbell. But guys, we're moving right along. We are up to our number 2.
All righty.
You're back up, Tommy.
All righty. So my number 2 is got to be in my personal opinion, probably to me, and to I'm sure a lot of people, but probably the most Christmas movie ever, in my opinion. And this will always be at the top of my list, A Christmas Story. I don't really need to talk about this movie because everybody and their parents have seen this freaking movie. So many standout moments, just so many quotable lines. This movie means so much to me. It just, God, does it bring back the memories. And I have a tradition where, like, there's a lot of Christmas movies that I obviously love and I watch throughout December and sometimes a few times. But I have a tradition where I cannot watch this movie until Christmas Eve. I just wait. As much as I want to watch it, I just force myself to wait and watch it every Christmas Eve. It's kind of a tradition that's been going on almost my whole life since I was a kid. I know back in the day, maybe they still do this, but back in the day, they would play this on loop for 24 hours on Christmas on TV. They have cable anymore, so I don't even know if they still do that. I'm sure they probably do, but it's funny how there's so many things. There's a few different moments in this movie that, as a kid, like really scared me. Like the tongue to the pole thing, like really scared me as a kid. The Santa Claus scared the shit out of me as a kid, and the elves. And it's so funny because Craig and I were talking about this the other day. And I'm like, why is that Santa and those elves so fucking mean? Like, why is that? And then Craig made a good point. He's like, well, that's, you're seeing this whole movie from the point of view of Ralphie. So maybe that's just the way that Ralphie pictured them, but they weren't really like that. I mean, it makes sense. It probably that's true. Like, why are they so mean? It doesn't make sense.
Hey, kid, hurry up. The store's closing.
I know. It's like they wouldn't act like that, but maybe that's just the way he pictured them because he was so scared, But obviously the bully, Scott Farkus in the movie, I love it. It's so funny. He had yellow eyes. So help me, God, yellow eyes. No, he didn't have yellow eyes. It's like the scene of him in the movie. It's like, no, he doesn't have yellow eyes. But again, probably one of those things, that from his point of view, he had yellow eyes, whatever.
Yeah.
But so the bully always scared me and stuff. But just such a cool movie, so damn classic. And then he, such a tender moment at the end when his dad actually gets him the BB gun and everything.
Oh,
It's cool. And
Bob
Clark, it's just so funny how a guy like Bob Clark puts out 2 of the greatest Christmas movies ever. One being this one, a family movie, and then obviously Black Christmas being a horror movie. It's just so weird that that's the same guy, that put those 2 movies out, whatever. But yeah, I mean, again, what can I say about this movie? Everybody's seen it. It's so damn good. And I love everything about this movie, and I got to check out the new one on HBO Max with everybody coming back as grown-ups.
I have to say, though, out of all those Christmas Warner Brothers 4Ks that came out, Christmas Story looks the best. I think they cleaned it up so nice. It's definitely got the best restoration out of the 4 that they put out. It is gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. I haven't been able to watch a lot of 4Ks lately because my son threw something at my TV and destroyed it, and I got to get a new one. But yeah, looking forward to checking that out on 4K eventually. But love that damn movie, man.
I can't believe it. I shot my eye out.
Yeah. After everybody said it a million times in the movie, he actually did it.
I love when he's writing his report, and the report ends up being about the Red Ryder BB gun, and then he stops in the middle to say aloud, "Boy, that's great."
Yeah, he's so proud of it. In this thing which tells time.
Yeah.
Brad, that's me writing about how I wanted to have a Spaz 12 when I was a kid. I did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Great.
There you have it. That's my number 2.
Awesome, man.
Okay. So out of the entire franchise, I rank this as being the best that they did, and I enjoy everything within this franchise. Probably minus the fourth film. The fourth film isn't particularly that good, but the first 2 are great, and this one just sets the whole bar, the whole standard of it all. It's Christmas Vacation.
Oh yeah.
Just an absolute classic, an absolute Chevy Chase classic. Probably one of Chevy Chase's best films. It's an not just a Christmas film. It's an all year round film for me. If I'm doing a marathon of National Lampoon films, from Vacation, European Vacation, this, and Vegas Vacation, which is probably the worst of the lot. This I can watch this any time of year and it still goes down well. It's highly quotable. There's scenes in it that are unbelievable. There's scenes in it that carry from each film. So the girl that he always sees in the red Ferrari, that goes through the entire lot of the National Lampoon films. I mean, what really is to be said about this that's not been said before? It is that good, and it's the quintessential Christmas comedy film, I think. Just to see Clark lose his absolute shit at the end is fantastic. The scene where the squirrel gets in the fucking Christmas tree and the Christmas tree goes up, just everything about it is just genius. The music that goes along with this, the neighbors that fucking hate Christmas, and they've got like a really sterile looking house, and he's cutting trees down and it goes through the fucking window, and just everything about it, you know what I mean, just sums up problems with family at Christmas, you know what I mean. The whole family turns up. It is great, and it is the quintessential Christmas comedy, you know what I mean. I don't think there's any been done better.
No.
Hell yeah, man.
I agree with everything you just said.
Definitely top 10.
Randy fucking Quaid, man. Everything he does is hysterical.
So it's just a dude, just brilliant in everything.
Is there something wrong with the dog? No, he's probably just nosing through the trash. You know, he's probably just yakking on a bone. That's all right. He's got enough.
Fucking.
He's cute, ain't he? He's got some Mississippi Lake Hound in him.
Yeah. Clark, you ain't never seen a set on a dog like this.
If he lays into you, it's best to just let him finish.
Let him finish.
Okay, really hope you ain't wearing short pants.
Oh yeah.
They go to the store because you know what I mean. They're short on money. They want to help him out this Christmas, and he's just loading dog food in that trolley like he's fucking stacked 6 high. He's just throwing it in there.
Crushes the light bulbs.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But no, it's one that's on the list every single year. But believe it or not, my wife doesn't like it, which I find fucking crazy.
I divorce her. No.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about the film. She just doesn't like it. Well,
what is with our wives? One of them doesn't like Christmas Vacation. One of them doesn't think Gremlins is a Christmas movie. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Man, that's fucking great pick answer.
Everything Randy Quaid does, I love when he brings Clark the shoes, gives him the shoes for his. Yes, in an earlier movie, Clark is giving him like backhanded compliments about the shoes, and just the look on Clark's face when he opens those fucking shoes up, he's just like, God damn it! It's all coming back around. Something real nice.
It's just something real nice. I like in the first Vacation where basically he's sitting there, he has a beer on a 6-pack ring, whatever he's drinking a beer. He's, you probably use a cool one, couldn't you? And he fucking gives him the drink. He's already drinking out of it. He's like picking the shit off. Oh man, I fucking love those guys. I love it. I love Randy Quaid in that role and the whole franchise. All right, Craig.
All right, so this one's going to be kind of a curveball for everybody in here. Even the people in the chat are going to be like, "Oh, well, you picked that one for okay, whatever." But this is a movie I am like the biggest advocate for. I mean, I saw this one back in the theaters when I was in high school. This is actually a remake. I saw this before I even saw the original. This is back when the horror remakes were coming out one after the other.
Oh yeah.
Mid to late 2000s. This is one of those ones that when I saw it, I immediately fell in love with this movie and had to buy it. It came out on DVD, unrated, so it was one of those ones where you didn't get to see all the gore in the theater, but if you got the unrated cut, you got all the stuff that they took out,
which improves it actually.
It does. The unrated cut is, and this is one of the rare times where the unrated cut is actually the better version, because there's like one added scene and the gore is amped up a little bit.
Yeah.
But this movie is the Black Christmas remake from 2006. Not that 2019 garbage that they put out from Blumhouse. That sounds like it was written by Twitter comments. All right.
Yeah.
This movie is absolutely awesome. Just a great Christmas slasher when it comes down to it. I mean, it kind of stays true to the Bob Clark classic, but it's very, very gory, but I would say the cinematography in this movie is absolutely beautiful. It just has like a warm, Christmassy feeling. The girls in this movie are absolutely, absolutely gorgeous that they chose for this movie. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Lacey Chabert, Katie Cassidy. They even had one of the girls from the original movie play the house mother of sorority. So if you don't know, like the premise of this movie, it's basically just a remake of the one of 74 from Bob Clark, where a killer escapes from a mental institution. Well, that was like an added element of this one. In the first one, you don't know who the killer is.
Yeah.
You don't know where he came from. He's just a prowler that breaks into a sorority house. This one actually gives a backstory of the killer named Billy, who went crazy, during the Christmas time, killed his parents, and ended up in a mental institution. He makes like the Christmas cookies out of his mom's skin. It's pretty gross.
That's awesome.
He's got jaundice, so he's got like a liver
Yellow.
disease, so he's very yellow, kind of looks like a Simpsons character. But yeah, like this is one of those slashers that's just absolutely such a fun time to watch. I watch it every year close to Christmas Day. I actually, and you're gonna hate me for this, I actually prefer this over the original. I really do. As much as I love the original for being like even before Halloween, the original.
At the time, it broke a lot of new ground. It was way ahead of the time.
The original, I mean, that's a very unsettling, creepy movie. But this one's just so much fun to watch. If you haven't seen the remake from 2006, you got to check this out. Unfortunately, this is the 2000. When did this come out? 2008 release from Canada. This is a Canadian release. It's Region A, but this is the cut version, which.
Fucking Canadian. How do you let that in your house? Aren't you afraid it's going to affect your other,
Hey, I mean, but either way, if you want to watch the gore, make sure you get one of the bootleg.
Or get the DVD, or there is a new release from Germany that's the uncut Blu-ray. You can get that.
Okay, I respect that. This is
one of those artwork too. That artwork's killer. That artwork is killer, by the way. I love that artwork, and it's the same artwork on the German release.
Poster artwork.
Yep.
Yeah, that is cool. I got all the colors on it and everything. But yeah, this one definitely needs an upgrade. Hopefully, a 4K release because it's like I said, it's a very colorful, very beautiful.
Screen Factory, get your shit together. That should have been a
I
Screen
know.
Factory.
I don't know who owns the rights to this. I know it has Dimension on the back, and then I think it's you see like a Sony logo too. So I think the rights are all tied up right now. It's just a matter of when they lapse, who can get them. But as of right now, this is like the number one on my most wanted Holy Grail Screen
Vinegar
Factory.
Syndrome. I mean, come on.
Anyone. I mean, if you get the unrated cut on Blu-ray or 4K, I mean, I'll take either or. But please check this out if you haven't seen this. This movie is absolutely amazing. And I actually found a copy of this for Tommy Starr maybe like 4 or 5 years ago in that Blu-ray group on Facebook. Guy was just unloading his collection, and if I happened to chance, I just clicked by the picture for sale, and I saw the spine. This is like in the middle of the stack. I'm like, wait a minute. The guy only wants $7 for it. And in the meantime, it's on eBay for over 100. So I snagged it for $7 for Tommy so he could get his hands on a copy.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was yelling at me by the time I got I already paid for everything. It was like, you just sold that guy a $100 Blu-ray. No, take it back. And the guy actually honored the sale. He's like, yeah, $7. It's yours. I'm like, yes, awesome.
Yep.
But
that's a fine there.
Oh, I know. So I was showing Pops last time. Hey, Pops, check eBay. He's like, yeah, I'm not paying $200 for that. There's one copy of this on eBay, and it's going for like $200.
Don't do it, Alan.
Craig ripped me off.
I would never, Brad. I would never.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm telling you not to do it because I know you. Number one, he'll order that fucking thing, and he'll have a slip made for it too, so they get here at the same time. And they'll put them together. Just about that time, he'll get the fucking German release that I'm sending them as soon as mine comes in. And it'll be a whole thing. Actually, it's happened before, basically. So.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, man. I mean, like, not to like spoil the movie or anything, but like they do a lot of good camera trickery to make you think like, wait a minute, is that guy the killer or is somebody else the killer? And then like it just keeps you thinking. You're like, wait a minute, well, if he's there, then who is that? Like it just keeps you locked in the whole time. And then the twist ending, when you see the ending, you're like, oh, okay, I see what they did there. So, I mean, you can kind of catch on to the twist if you're really paying attention. But like when I was looking in the movie theater, like I was just kind of like taking it for what it was. I'm like, okay, the killer is the guy who's escaping from the mental institution. But then when you watch the ending and you're like, holy shit. Like there was a curveball thrown at the end. You're like, wait a minute, okay.
There's a red herring too. There's a red herring in there too.
There's a red herring in the movie that they set up very well. And then, like I said, there's a lot of twists and turns. And when you finally see the end of the movie, who the killer or killers are, you know, you'll be like, okay, I like that. That was pretty cool. Yeah. But there's an ending in this movie that involves what are they called? Defibrillators. That I feel like Scream 4 kind of got the inspiration from this ending, 2-dimension films, but Weinstein movies, whatever. But I will always vouch for this movie. The Black Christmas 2006 remake. If you can find a copy on Blu-ray or get your hands on the unrated HD DVD or the bootleg unrated cut, or even just the DVD unrated, check this out. You will love it. I promise. Black Christmas.
Yeah, the thing about Black Christmas is those fucking movies just get better. Like the 2020 is fucking awesome.
Get out.
Well, here's the real thing about the Black Christmas 06 one that will let you know like how fast it moves. Craig has the attention span of a head of lettuce. So for this movie to keep him captivated the entire time and follow the twists and turns, I rewatched it recently, man. It moves like this the whole time. It never stops. It's relentless. It is a blast, and it holds up really, really well. Yeah,
I saw that before the original, not even knowing that there was an original. I didn't even know that was a remake when I saw it in 06.
Yeah. And Craig, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never seen that I've never seen that remake.
Yeah, well,
no, I've not.
I've only seen the original 3 or 4 times. I've never seen the remake.
I think there's an unrated. I think you can get the unrated cut on Vudu if you want to download, like you just stream it. I mean,
don't tell this motherfucker to spend money. God damn it! I just told you I'm sending him a fucking copy of it. I got multiple copies coming.
Okay,
it's in customs right now.
That's gonna be my first watch.
He will. He'll be on Vudu later tonight. We'll go, oh fuck it, and just do it.
No. I I got too many fucking kids to buy Christmas for. My fuckets are real slim right now. I got just a couple fuckets. I got to keep them in my pocket. I can't use them right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of those
Yeah, man.
movies where I watched it in the theater and I just kind of wanted to go up and shake the director's hand, even though it's a remake of something original. I'm just like, wow, I really enjoyed that. Like, I had a lot of fun with it. And recently, and like right when after it came out, a lot of people were like, "Oh, this movie sucks. They ruined Black Christmas. This sucks." And then as soon as the 2019 one came out,
Yeah.
this one started picking up, you know, more of like popularity again. People are like writing about it on different horror websites. YouTubers are coming out with videos of it, revisiting it, and it's just, you got to see this movie if you guys haven't seen it. I promise you, it is a great time.
I mean, no remake ruins anything. It doesn't
I totally
change
agree.
the fact that you could go right back and watch the original and forget that this remake. You hate the remake so bad, it doesn't change the original. So I don't understand that, but it's killer, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to watch it.
Well, another lighthearted family one, 1995's The Day of the Beast.
Like I said, the best laugh on the internet.
This is a Christmas movie through and through. It takes place on Christmas Eve and Christmas night. So Christmas Eve night, and it's all about Christmas. A Catholic priest discovers the apocalypse is near through ancient texts, and goes on a quest to summon the devil to vanquish him. And it's fucking hilarious. I don't necessarily consider it a comedy, but a lot of the comedy is unintentional. Give me an idea what this movie's like. The opening scene is two priests talking about the apocalyptic text. One bends over to tie his shoe. A giant crucifix falls on the other priest, killing him. So that's how the movie starts. And from there, it just gets nicer and more, warm and cozy family stuff. The movie follows, like I said, a Catholic priest, a doped out metalhead freak, and a late night satanic television evangelist through the streets of Madrid, Spain on Christmas Eve, trying to stop the pending apocalypse. They don't initially come on board, but the priest convinces them, and they become like a unknowing like holy trinity trio to take down the Dark Lord. The priest is the star of the show. I don't know; these are all Spanish actors. I don't expect my American ass to know him. But this dude is 5'4", probably 130 pounds. He's probably 55 years old. Been in the Catholic Church his whole life. Doesn't even know the meaning. Like, he has no concept of being bad. And he decides the best way to run into Satan is to sin constantly. So, but he's a priest, so sinning is really foreign to him. So he just does like the silliest shit anything he can think of. He shoplifts. He pushes over a human statue. He steals luggage. He starts smoking. He starts keying people's cars. Like anything he can think of to do, and it's all real like petty shit like that. It's real funny. He's like, he starts listening. He tries to find satanic music and play it backwards to meet the devil. And these other two that he come across, the satanic evangelist, who turns out to be a fraud, and the metalhead. The black metalhead, they both are like, they're into this stuff, but they're not really thinking it's going to bring Satan. And then Satan shows up in the middle of the movie. And when that happens, it's a fucking laugh riot. I mean, they're all like completely shocked. A fucking goat just wanders in the room. I don't know, man. I don't spoil it. It's a blast. At one point he goes out in the middle of the night to find virgin blood in Madrid. At 10 p.m., like he has to find a woman with a virgin woman and take her blood to sacrifice to Satan to conjure him. And I don't know, it turns into this fucking all out like peck and paw like melee, blood and guts brawl with this old broad. Like they're shooting each other and shit. I mean, it's just fucking throwing each other down the stairs. It's just awesome, man. It's a really kind of slept on movie. I don't know. It's subtitles, so I think a lot of people have problems with that, but. That's a pretty good 7 release. They have a Blu-ray of it too. But if you haven't seen this one, definitely check that one out. It's a good one.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
Yeah.
Okay.
Brad's rooting for the other side.
Yeah, well, let's see where Dirk will come in the chat and go, yeah, satanic, Christmas, it's a pagan holiday. It all fits together.
He's pacing the floor right now and wanting to talk.
Yeah,
that's coming up here.
This is the kind of shit over at the 4K Temp Revival.
I've been on the fence. I've been on the fence, Brad, about buying that movie. I've never seen it, but it's a 4K that I wanted to add to the Severin collection, and I've just been kind of on the fence about it. And I think you just sold me on it now. I think
I mean, if you're into Satan and Christmas, I mean,
I'm a big
they go hand in hand.
I've been worshiping the devil since I was, I think, 9. So that'd be perfect for me. So.
All right, guys. My number 2, I'm going to lose some more street cred. I don't have a copy of this, but that's going to be Scrooged.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Again, this was coming. It's going to be over the 22nd. So I can't believe I didn't own this movie. I looked all over for it. I knew I had a copy of it. I don't know what the fuck happened to it.
I was exactly
anyway, guys. Yeah. But this is another yearly rewatch. Basically, every year at Christmas, when all the kids come back home, what we do is everybody basically puts their movie on a little note. We throw all the movies into a hat, and then we draw out a movie at a time. Well, the last movie remaining in the hat, that's what we watch. And there's 7 of us, my 4 kids and my daughter-in-law, and me and my wife. And so basically, you pull a movie out, and you don't want yours pulled because that means you're fucked. You ain't gonna get to watch your movie. Last year, my wife was the winner, and we had to watch some Hallmark shit she pulled, and that was miserable. So we've all been politicking the last month for not to throw no shit like that in the hat. I'm always throwing in, Lethal Weapons, Die Hards, Scrooge, stuff like that. But anyway, this is one that I usually throw in there. This is this high on my list. I always put in that hat. That's our yearly tradition. But anyway, guys, the movie came out in 1988, directed by the great Richard Donner, which we lost. Was it last year or this year? He passed away. He was like 90-something years old. But he was he did the Lethal Weapon movies and all kind of shit. Supermans.
Goonies.
Yeah, he was a legend. Of course, it stars Bill Murray, Karen Allen. Karen Allen, you probably know from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Bobcat Goldthwait, which is gold in this. I love him. Carol Kane, David Johansen, Robert Mitchum, and David Johansen. Never mind. David Johansen's in it twice, though. I put his name down twice by mistake. You have cameos by Robert Goulet, Lee Majors, as y'all were talking about earlier. John Houseman. John Houseman actually died a couple weeks after he filmed this shot. His little cameo in this, he died a few weeks later. And it said Jamie Farr. I don't remember Jamie Farr being in this. The guy Klinger from MASH.
He's in the Scrooge movie. He plays
yes.
Yeah,
that's right. A few notes I took about the movie. Bill Murray and Richard Donner did not get along very well. He was asked by Robert Ebert. He says, "Did you have any disagreements with Donner?" Murray replied, "Only a few. Every single minute of the day." It could have been a really, really great movie. The script was so good. There's maybe one take in the final cut of the movie that is mine. He made it so fast. It was like doing a movie live. He kept telling me to do things louder. I think the son of a bitch was deaf. Talking about Richard Donner. When the Ghost Christmas passed, Carol Kane grabs Bill Murray's lip. She tore it so badly in the filming had to be halted for a couple days. So she tore his lip, cut his lip. This was actually kind of cool. I'll read this a little long, but I'll try to make it faster. Filming began in December of '87. With Christmas approaching, director Richard Donner asked if the production could have Christmas Day off. The Paramount Pictures executives refused, insisting that filming should continue on Christmas Day. However, Donner outwitted them. At the end of the day, on December 24th, he fired the entire cast and crew. 2 days later, on December 26th, he rehired everybody. The break allowed the cast and crew members to spend Christmas with their family. Kind of cool.
Wow.
This was Bill Murray's first starring role since Ghostbusters in '84. He had been living in Paris and had seriously considered giving up acting altogether. I'm glad he didn't. Now, this would have been great. Sam Kinison was originally slated to play the part of Ghost of Christmas Past, which was played by David Johansen, the cab driver. I love Sam Kinison. Sam Kinison would have been great in that role.
Yeah. Sam Kinison and Bobcat Goldthwait hated each other, so it was they wouldn't. One had to go, like, kind of thing. It's like he's not doing it, I'm not doing it, whatever. Yeah.
That, and also David Johansen was good friends with Bill Murray. That's how he ended up getting the part after that. They probably brought in Johansen. I already said that John Houseman passed away. Yeah, Bill Murray turned down the lead role from Rain Man, Big, and Cocktail to make this film. Richard Donner directed the movie between Lethal Weapon and Lethal Weapon 2. That's what I got. But guys, I absolutely love it. It's a very quotable movie for me. I love Bill Murray in this. I'm a huge Bill Murray fan. It's one of my favorites by him. I think this really makes his personality as an actor shine. Like I said earlier, when he makes his drink and he just dribbles, there's so many things in the movie that I have quoted so many times throughout my life as I first seen it. It's when I watch it again every year. And that's what this is for me, guys. My top 5 is going to be something that's an every year watch.
Hell yeah.
That's what it's all about for me. Brad, you can arrange this back again if you don't mind.
Great
I'll
stuff.
catch up on the chat here. All right. Ragnar 666. The original Grinch was Boris Karloff narrating.
Yep. Favorite of mine.
Yeah, I grew up on that one too. Gizmo said Blues from the Basement has the same wallpaper as Kathy Bates in her guest room. Just a fun fact.
Lonnie, can you verify that? You love that movie.
I've never even paid attention to that. He might be right.
Is there a penguin in the room that?
Yeah, you stole my goddamn joke. His fucking penguin's facing the wrong way over there.
Yeah.
Regular says Christmas Story. Oh shit. Wild Randall says Creepy Santa. Cable Channel 11 says, hell yeah, another great one. I'm pretty sure they still do the 24-hour Christmas Story on TBS or TNT.
Yep.
Wild Randall, why is the Wizard of Oz in A Christmas Story?
Yeah, I know. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
All right. The singing at the Chop Suey restaurant kills me. Yeah.
Rub.
Yeah. Yeah, and Porky's Bob Clark.
Yep. I just learned that.
I seen Porky's when I was like in 5th grade, man. I was way too young to be watching that in 5th grade. Right there says March of the Wooden Soldiers is a must. And one thing I noticed about Bob Clark, I was watching Black Christmas before the stream, and there's 2 actors from Porky's, also a Bob Clark movie, that was in Black Christmas. The one of the cops, whatever, played the gym teacher, and one of the other guys, one of the boyfriends, I don't remember his name in Black Christmas, but he played the redneck guy from Porky's that always went and got his ass kicked at Porky's. He was the cop that went over there and kind of got revenge. So there's 2 actors from Black Christmas that's also in Porky's. So that was an interesting fact. March of the Wooden Soldiers is a must. Holland Oak says it's a major award. Tommy Starr, I really like the sequel to A Christmas Story. It keeps the same spirit of the first one. That's good to know.
That's good because that other Christmas Story sequel they did with Daniel Stern was horrible.
Yeah. All right. Wild Wrangler says, my dad had a friend who really shot his eye out when they were kids. That's awesome. Well, that's not awesome, but, you know. Wild Wrangler says, say grace. She died 10 years ago. And by the way, the old lady, Aunt Bethany, whatever, she was the original voice of Betty Boop. If you don't know that actress was. For any Betty Boop fans that may be out there tonight.
I break wind.
The blasting. Wild Wrangler says fried pussycat. Smells like fried pussycat to me, Clark.
Electrified.
Ragnar 6, damn, I love that movie. Ragnar 666 says Randy Quaid could have had such a career with that Eddie character if he didn't go crazy and fly off the rails. Yeah, he could have. Of course, he did make a Christmas Story. I mean, Christmas Vacation Part 2, the sequel. And yeah, I've never seen it because I didn't want to ruin that character. And I've seen clips of it in the trailer. Yeah, I don't need to watch that. Don't need to watch that. All right, Allie says, I have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation to thank for introducing me to my favorite Christmas song, Melikaliki Maki.
Yeah.
It's hard to say that without singing it.
It is.
Jess says, if you want, I could put your gizmo on the couch with a pillow and blanket waiting for you.
I have one of those little singing gizmos. It's really sad.
No, I've got one. I've got one too. It's right behind me here.
Hell yeah, man.
Fucking Tony's got a gizmo wardrobe. We don't need to go there.
Yeah. Has no one checked my wearable gizmo out yet? No. It's,
that's why we invited him on the stream. We're going to do an intervention after the stream and make sure his mental health is all right after.
I just got a text off Brad the other night after my last video going, "Is everything okay?" I said, "Why?" Yeah, he said, I'm really worried about you. I was like,
that's great. Gizmo said Raider 666. I think Quaid doggy video was the best thing he ever did with Christmas Vacation on a close second. All right, I like Black Christmas. People look at me funny.
Yeah, this is anti-remake culture we got.
Where'd that come from? Oh,
Okay,
I'm
go ahead
slipping,
and
guys.
forward that to me though before you block.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, they're getting tricky. They look more like a regular text. They got right by me. All right. Probably give everybody a virus. Only the first time. No, Anthony says, my number 2 is Jingle All the Way. Phil Hartman is funny as fuck in that movie. He has hot bombs trying to bang him the entire film, and yet he spends all his time trying to smash Rita Wilson. I love it. Monica says, any movie, but always with Craig. Yeah, I agree. Gizmo says, Monica, are you Kathy Bates? Please say you are. All the pieces fall into place tonight.
She breaks my ankles with the king size Reese.
Yeah, she'll. Fucking hobble.
You ain't going nowhere.
Oh shit, guys! That fast, we were at our number 1.
Wow,
flying right by.
Yeah, man, we're just over 2 hours. That's it.
Yeah, for this.
That's
this
for us.
stream,
That's fast, man.
Usually, but we say shit like this all the time. It happens. Hey, man, we're making great time, and then it ends up being a 5-hour stream.
Right. All right, you guys. So thanks to everybody who's still streaming here with us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So we've come to number 1. So I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody's got. This is going to be exciting. So everybody who's in this stream, put your all-time favorite Christmas movie down in the chat. Yeah. Okay, so I gotta cheat, you guys. I have to cheat. I don't have a choice. I can't figure this out. And I'm sure everybody knows what I'm about to say, but I have to do this. Home Alone 1 and 2. Okay, so for me personally, like, there's no way that I can really, like, I go back and forth with these movies. Like, sometimes I think number 1 is the best. Sometimes I think number 2 is the best. But at the end of the day, I really look at this as just one long movie. I don't think I've ever watched these individually. Like, I don't think I've ever just, I'm going to pop in 1 or I'm going to pop in 2. Every time I want to watch Home Alone, it's always both of them as one long movie. So I can't keep these apart. And I didn't want to, take 2 spots, with both of these movies. So I have to put this together as one movie. But yeah, the Home Alone movies, you guys, they're, as many times as we say, like, we love this movie because it just brings back memories. I think this one takes the cake, these movies, when it comes to bringing back memories. I saw both of them in the theater. I think these are perfect definition of a perfect movie, in my opinion. A perfect family movie, perfect Christmas movie. I think another thing that Home Alone does best is that, there's been many times where we've had a movie and then they made a sequel that basically tries to do almost the same thing that the first movie did, but it's just way worse and it just doesn't work. Well, Home Alone is probably one of the only ones I can think of where they made a second one that was basically the same damn premise, but it works just as well. And everything that was good about the first Home Alone, like, I think we get everything just as good in the second one, but we just get a different setting, in my opinion. It's just as masterful, but just in a different setting. And I think that's what I love about it. But obviously, everybody who watches my channel and knows the majority of our spoof covers always come back to Home Alone. I was watching Home Alone 1 the other day, and it's so funny because I think Craig and I have almost completed that whole movie as a spoof. Like, I think if we did just a couple more, we could potentially put all the spoofs together as one long parody of them. But yeah, you guys, I could quote these movies from beginning to end. And yeah, I mean, I could sit here and take up 6 hours of the stream talking about these damn movies and what I love about them. So I think I'm just gonna shut up now. But these movies are so damn good, and I love everything about these movies. Definitely my number one. And I watch these literally. I think I've watched these so far this year about 15 times. I'm not kidding. My son loves them now. My 3-year-old, he just sits there, and it's so funny because he's watched our spoofs so many times that when he's watching Home Alone now this year, and he's recognizing it, and he's seeing the scenes in Home Alone, and he's making a funny face because he realizes that it reminds him of the spoof covers that Craig and I have done, and now he's seeing the real thing, and it's funny because he's like, "That's Daddy and Craig." Like, yep. So it's so funny. That's awesome. But yeah, I love these damn movies. So there you go. That's my number one together.
I have to say, even though Scream Factory like started mine and Tommy's friendship, it was really the mutual love for Home Alone that solidified the friendship.
Oh God, yeah.
It really is.
Totally.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're in your mid-30s and obsessed with Home Alone too? Did we just become best friends?
Yeah, I'll never forget when Brad said that. He's like, I've never known two grown men to love Home Alone as much as Tommy.
I think it's awesome.
But, Tommy, tell him about the time I sent you a package. Like, and one day you didn't do an unboxing video, but you're like, oh my, two different times, including Home Alone.
He sent me a package in the mail, like a just a random, like around Christmas time. And I when I got it, it was small and it looked almost like maybe I thought he sent me a gift card. So I'm like, oh shit, he sent me something. Damn it, I didn't give him anything. So I opened it up, and when I opened it up and I looked at it, I immediately just started getting tears because he sent me the turtle doves from Home Alone. He sent me the turtle doves from Home Alone 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, that bastard. And then the next time I saw him when he came here, I think we did it on film too. I ended up giving him one, like I have one, you have one. As long as we both have our turtle doves, we'll be friends forever. But it was just so funny. It's just hilarious. But the last thing too, I don't know, man. This year was the 30th anniversary of Part 2. Why the hell has this not come to 4K? What the hell?
Yeah. Politics. But yeah, that's fucking Tommy's gonna put his turtle dove in Craig's casket when one of these broads kills him that he meets online. We warned him.
Our next spoof is me. I'm gonna be giving Craig a Reese's cup. I'm like, here, you have a Reese's cup, I have a Reese's cup. As long as we both eat our Reese's cup, we'll be fat forever.
All right. Well, these guys at Home Alone, you got to just cut them off cold. You got to cut them off.
Yeah, you got to start playing the Oscar music. You play the Oscar music when they start talking about Home Alone. Before you know, it's like, you know what? Cue up some spoof cover videos. Or I'm leaving the fucking stream.
Well, my number one is probably going to be no surprise. People have probably already guessed it. And it is
Ernest Saves Christmas.
Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh, yeah.
It fucking pains me that in the UK we got the complete box set of the Muppets films, but there's fucking 3 films on one disc, and it's like it's fucking shocking, compressed to shit. And why these have never had 4K transfers, 4K releases, I have no idea. But Muppets Christmas Carol. I remember this coming out. I remember seeing this at the cinema. I remember getting it on VHS one Christmas as a gift from my parents. I've loved this since it came out. I love it to this day. It's the single best Muppet film that there is. It's beautifully shot. The scenery and everything in this looks fantastic. It is hands down probably the best adaptation of A Christmas Carol that there is. It's the closest adaptation to the actual story of A Christmas Carol that there is.
Agreed.
Yeah, massively. And I'm a big fan of the Patrick Stewart version. I think the Patrick Stewart version is fantastic. But Muppets Christmas Carol is where it's at. I don't think it's been done any better than what this film's done. It's brilliant that Gonzo and Rizzo play the whole sort of like Charles Dickens part in this, the sort of narrating it right from the beginning to the end. But they've sort of got a little part in it as well as the like little comedic things keep happening to them within the story, and they sort of like break the fourth wall with it. It's quite kind of weird how it works. Like they're not part of the story, but the characters in the story know that they're there. It's odd how it works, but it works really well. Michael Caine is fucking brilliant in it. To be fair, Michael Caine is brilliant in everything, but in this, he's fantastic. I couldn't see any other person playing Ebenezer Scrooge in this other than Michael Caine. It works that well. Every Muppet character that you know and love sort of gets a cameo in this or gets a main role in this. The characters that they designed and developed to be the ghosts of Christmas, past, present, and future, unbelievably good. You know what I mean? Typical Jim Henson stuff where they look fantastic. And it rolls along at a really, really nice pace. I don't know if any of you guys know the sort of, and it's only just become apparent for some reason in the last few weeks, there's a missing song in this. And the missing song hasn't been seen since the theatrical release. The theatrical release has a song called When Love Is Gone, the middle of the film when Ebenezer Scrooge gets taken back to a time where he was due to get married and everything, and all that goes tits up. There's a song that his fiancée sings in it called When Love Is Gone. And after the theatrical release, when it came to the home media release of it, they sort of looked at it and thought the song was too dark and too difficult for children to understand, that children won't understand that how losing a loved one can be a bad thing. So they axed it from the film. And when you look back at it now with that song being put back in, that scene makes miles more sense. So if you're a Disney Plus subscriber, I think this time round on Disney Plus, it's been put back in.
Oh, good.
So the original song's been put back in. So the film is in its full entirety now.
Nice.
It just sums up everything that's good about Henson. I mean, I love Henson. I worship at the guy's feet. I worship at the company's feet. For me, the company's never done any wrong. Everything they put out is fantastic. And Muppets Christmas Carol is probably the best thing that they ever did and ever have done or ever will do.
It's a very dark take on it as well for especially for a Muppets movie.
Massively. It's like
guys, I don't mean to interrupt the stream. Behind you, what is that Jaws release? Can you pull that Jaws release for me real quick? You have it on your shelf.
Mad?
Yeah. Sorry, I got sidetracked here.
It's been bothering them all night now. It's one of those HMV.
No, I actually just noticed it. Sorry to interrupt the stream, guys.
Jaws.
Well, there's Gizmo.
Yeah, I have that.
Yeah, it's the NECA one.
Oh, that's okay. Now, is that a VHS or just a VHS retro?
It's a VHS retro. So
okay, yeah, you showed that on your video. I'm sorry about that. I thought it was something different. That's pretty badass.
I'm still trying to find you one.
Yeah, man. If you find one, man, let me know. All right.
Sorry to interrupt, guys. The harder to find.
See what I mean? Don't tell him about
my
it.
OCD just kicked, or my ADD just kicked in a little bit.
I just got to say real quick, since you were talking about Christmas Carol, this was definitely one of my all-time favorites. I was gonna put it here because it probably could have almost made my top 5. but I decided to, I didn't do cartoons or anything. But in my opinion, man, I've always loved Mickey's Christmas Carol. Like that one has always been, like probably my favorite rendition. Like I don't think it's like the best made rendition of the story, but it's just my personal favorite as a kid. Like I've always loved a Mickey's Christmas Carol, and it's just that'll always be one of my favorite. It probably is my all-time favorite Christmas cartoon, to be honest.
Yeah, it is good. It is good. I mean,
it's very popular here.
Yeah,
the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Yes.
I don't know if there's a Disney Movie Club Blue or not. That's a Tony question.
Of what?
Yeah,
Muppet Christmas Carol.
I don't know if there's an actual exclusive, but I mean, I have a Blu-ray slipcover version of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there is no standalone in the UK, and it just came in. It's a seven disc set, but those 3 films are squashed on one. Which I mean, Muppet Treasure Island I don't care that much about. The Great Muppet Cape is a fantastic film, but I would love a standalone release of Muppet's Christmas Carol.
I love Muppets Take Manhattan. That's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, it's fantastic. The original Muppet movie is really good as well.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right, good pick, man. Awesome.
Yeah, man.
All right,
Craig,
so my number one, I mean, obviously, if you know who I am, this movie is just embedded in my DNA. Just like Tommy, I couldn't choose just one. I have to show them both at the same time, and it's Home Alone 1 and 2. These movies,
wow.
These are my childhood. I mean, I could talk. I could write a dissertation on Home Alone 1 and 2. Like I could write 2 separate dissertations on each movie. But yeah, I mean, this movie just screams Christmas. Came out in 1990. Sequel came out in 92. I'll tell you what, though, like the Wet Bandits, like what good chemistry between Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. I mean, they just kill it in these movies. Like, and for Joe Pesci to do a family movie like this, I mean, he was just perfectly cast. And originally they wanted Robert De Niro and John Lovitz to play the 2 Wet Bandits. And Marv, so originally Daniel Stern, like he was cast first, and then they wanted to like extend his time to be on set, but they weren't going to pay him more. So Daniel Stern was like, all right, I'm not doing the movie then. Then they casted Dan Roebuck, who didn't like, I guess, test well with Joe Pesci. They didn't have good chemistry together during the test shoots. So they fired Dan Roebuck and then offered Daniel Stern to come back with more money. And I'm glad they did that because I just can't picture Marv as anybody else. Like these guys, I mean, they make the movie. They really do. Like they play so well off each other. The one thing that I hold special for this movie in my heart is the soundtrack by John Williams. I mean, for him to do like Jaws and Star Wars and Indiana Jones and all these big blockbuster movies, and then he does a small Christmas movie like Home Alone. It was small at the time, when they were making it. But to get one of the best composers in the world to do a little family Christmas movie, like that was just like, the movie gods aligning with how well both these turned out.
It's like he just knew what it needed to sound like. He just knew.
No, I'm telling you, it's beautiful. I love the soundtrack of this movie, and even the regular songs that they play in the movie, like all the Christmas songs. Like these are my favorite versions of those songs from the Home Alone soundtracks. Like they're the ones I prefer. But Tommy and I, like at the same year back in 2017, we both visited the Home Alone house. Like he went first, he told me all about it, and then my buddy Mark Jones and we took a road trip out to Indianapolis to see Notre Dame play Temple University in the football game. So when we were coming back from the football game, like we had to like go out of our way to see the Home Alone house and see it in person. And just, that was the first time in my life I was truly starstruck by seeing an actual house and not a celebrity.
Yeah.
It was so cool to see it in person. Like I almost had tears in my eyes because I'm like, oh my God, it's real. It's actually real. Even though the movie doesn't take place, like the movie wasn't shot in the house itself. They actually built the whole house on like a makeshift set. So like everything you see in the house, like in the movie is a set, and then the exteriors are the actual house. I think like they did replicate the staircase though to make it look exactly like the inside. Same thing with a kitchen, but I think one of the scenes that was actually filmed for the movie was the basement. Like they actually did film in the basement of the house, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, they built the whole movie in they built the whole inside of the house in a school gymnasium.
Yeah, if you watch the movies that made us on Netflix, they go into detail about how they recreated the house and built it on a set, and it's kind of like ruins my childhood to think about that. I'm like, wait a minute, they didn't film it inside the house; they made sets. I'm like, oh, movie magic, I get it. But yeah, you got to watch the Home Alones every year. I mean, these are movies that I could watch any time of the year. Like if I'm having a bad day at work, or I'm just not feeling right, or I just feel down, I could throw on a Home Alone 1 or 2, and I would laugh so hard. And like even today, like watching this from when I was a little kid until now, like I still laugh just as hard or even harder at some of the same parts. Like it doesn't lose its magic. Like these movies are absolutely timeless.
It's funny,
the first one or the second one.
It's funny how it's got kid humor and it's got adult humor. And a lot of the adult humor I didn't pick up on until I became an adult. Obviously, it's funny. Like a lot of stuff that I laugh at now of more of the adult humor. It's like I didn't laugh as a kid, and then as you grow up, then you start to laugh at that shit.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, like these movies are like the #1 inspiration for our spoof covers. Like this is what got us started in spoof covers. Yep. Home Alone. Like we were just talking on the phone one night, and I just said to him, "I know you're not the real Tommy Starr." And then like, "Oh my god!" So we just started like writing this stuff. Like we got to film something like this. That's kind of how spoof covers blossomed.
The very first spoof cover we ever did, which is not even on my channel, was about the whole Old Man Marley. You ever heard of the South Bend Shovel Slayer? Like we did. That was the first spoof we ever did. Was that story, and I never ended up posting it because I don't know what happened to the video, but that was actually our first spoof, but we never posted it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tommy told Craig, let Craig know that he loved Home Alone, and then after that, his life has been a living hell ever since.
Once during the war, I visited Boston. My life has been a living hell ever since. But yeah, I mean, I go back and forth of which one's my favorite. I mean, I definitely think Home Alone is the better movie, but Home Alone 2 is the funnier movie. I laughed so much harder at the second one than I do the first one. And like the booby traps in the second one, I mean, they just amp up like whatever happens in the first one, they just times it by 10 in the second one. Even though the second one's a carbon copy of the first one, like Marv just gets the worst of it out of the booby traps in this one. The one part that always scared me, though, was when Marv's getting electrocuted and he turns into the skeleton. I remember I used to cover my eyes when I was a kid. When I was really little, I used to cover my eyes when he turns into the skeleton.
When you were little, when you say you were little, what?
Well, I was never little. I mean, I look like a fifth grader when I was in kindergarten.
Like a toddler, or
like Craig means when he was shorter.
When I was still not on keto, but oh my god, guys! Like, and to piggyback off what Tommy said, like, I'm really surprised this didn't get a 4K for the 30th anniversary. But there's a lot of people saying it's because of the down the hall and to the left scene, which is why they're not putting that movie out on 4K. But Disney Plus, apparently it has a 4K transfer on Disney Plus.
It doesn't have anything to do with that. The former CEO of Disney was not physical, was anti-physical media, referred to it as media waste and things like that. They fired him and brought back the other guy who was pro-physical media. So there'll probably be a whole slew of Disney releases next year.
Yeah,
I'm hoping so.
I'm hoping so. So actually, for the 25th anniversary of this one, I remember we got tickets for the Fathom events for the 25th anniversary re-release. So me, my mom, and dad, we all saw it together in the theater, and it was so cool because like the theater was just all grown adults, no kids at all. It was just people like my age. And everyone was laughing so hard. And I'll tell you what, the older I get, the more this movie kind of pulls on the heartstrings. Like, Old Man Marley talking about his son in the church, how he kind of, separated from his son for a while due to a disagreement. And then the end of the movie when he reconnects with his son and his granddaughter. Oh my God, I have tears streaming down my face every time I see it now. Like just how like beautiful that scene is and the music mix in and everything. And then Home Alone 2, you got the addition of Tim Curry. Like he's one of the best parts of that movie. Tim Curry kills it in that. Tim Curry, Rob Schneider. Who else is famous in that movie besides Donald Trump? Ali Sheedy has a cameo as the ticket girl at the airport. But yeah, Home Alone 1 and 2. I tell you what, I mean, it just doesn't get any better than these two movies. When you think of nostalgia, I mean, you think of Home Alone 1 and 2. Like I just could watch them on repeat over and still laugh just as hard. A little preview of what's to come. Tommy and I actually wrote a bunch of spoof covers. I think Allie will be happy to hear this. We wrote a bunch of spoof covers for Home Alone 2 within the last couple of weeks, and we were dying laughing, just writing them, thinking about what to say. So yeah, if you want to laugh, if you haven't seen Home Alone, I'm sure everyone in the chat, everyone watching has seen Home Alone, but like you're in a bad mood or if you're just down, just put this on any time of the year and you will laugh so hard. I mean, I love these movies. And it really did solidify mine and Tommy's friendship. I know like Scream Factory is our connection, but like Home Alone really locked the friendship in. Me and Tommy talk about these all the time. And
I've never met anybody that loved Home Alone 1 and 2 as much as I did.
Like the one part in Home Alone 2, and I could ramble all day about this movie, but like the part that I laughed so hard that I was telling Tommy about, I'm like, did you ever see the part where it's just like Joe Pesci's just standing there at the ice rink and then he just starts
I'm fucking with
Guys,
you.
my number one's Home Alone. We got to get to it. You know, I got an hour to talk about it.
I'm just like, we keep going, dude. I had to do it, man. I had to do it. I'm thinking, damn, I can't find it.
That's awesome. But Joe Pesci just beating the shit out of the pigeons when he's standing there reading the newspaper, and there's 3 pigeons next to him. He's like, get out of here, come on, get out of here, get out of here.
Get out of here. Yeah.
Pigeons, the one falls off. But yeah, Home Alone 1 and 2. You know, these had to be my number one. I couldn't pick just one. So yeah, Home Alone. Hopefully 2 gets worked in.
Well, that's all our time, guys. Thanks everybody for coming. Craig fucking ranting and raving about a fucking spoiled ass brat kid who hates his perfect fucking family that are all rich and taking everybody to fucking France. You know, there's fucking starving people in the world. How dare you?
That movie was released today. It'd be a 3-minute movie. Mom, you forgot me. Text.
Yeah, yeah. Come back.
If there was a cell phone.
You know, it's a sentimental movie, though. You know, Home Alone. I can't really top it, but my number one. This movie's all about family as well. 2007. It's a French film. It's called Inside. Takes place on Christmas Eve. The pregnant woman is set to deliver her baby on Christmas Day, and a strange woman all in black shows up and keeps showing up to her house, trying to get in. It becomes a home invasion story. This is a French horror film. So if anybody's familiar with French horror, they're particularly dark and violent and bloody, and just 100% severe. That's the best word I would describe them.
Yeah,
the home invasion. Yeah, the home invasion between these women. It's just one woman trying to get into this house, and you're going through the movie and you figure out what her motivations are, but it's totally all practical effects. There's one little touch CGI from inside the womb, but other than that, it's practical effects. It's insanely violent. The struggle between these two women is all down to earth from the ground up. They just an all-out blood and guts brawl from from the second act on. Again, I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to put anything on, but man, like I said, it takes place Christmas Eve night into Christmas morning, and it is a fucking blast. It's a great movie. I would love to see somebody do a serious 4K of this. I could see like a Criterion or maybe even an Arrow or somebody like that. But if you have not seen this movie, I think it's streaming on Shudder. There's US DVD available. This is a Spanish release. Like I said, it's called Inside. Definitely check it out. I cannot recommend it enough. Ever since I saw it, it's been a Christmas staple, and it is just beyond a Christmas movie. It's just a great movie. So definitely check this one out.
Yeah, that's a great movie, man.
Cool. I've never heard of it.
Ah, dude, it's really, really awesome. Really dark, And like I said, like when I watched it the first time, I'm going, good God, they're gonna turn this into something retarded. They're gonna make it a ghost or something. You know what I mean? It's not that. There's no bullshit. It's just straightforward. It's a lot of fun, man. It's awesome.
Cool.
Really, really underrated and overlooked for some reason.
Yeah, it's a good one, man.
If you like high tension, you know, it's that kind of thing, but without the, you know, it doesn't have the spectral thing. But anyway, that style of film.
All right, guys, my number one. If any of my kids are watching this, they already know what this is. And it's going to be Christmas Vacation.
Yes.
Without a doubt, favorite Christmas movie, hands down. This was okay. There's number one. Now I got to figure out the rest of them. I was so glad to get this 4K. You know, a lot of people wasn't crazy about this slip. I actually love this slip. I have not had a chance to watch this 4K yet, but I'm gonna rectify that between now and Christmas. But yeah, super excited that they released this on 4K, man. This is top of the food chain for me. Movie came out in 1989. It was directed by Jeremiah. I can't say his last name, Chekic, I think it is, but it was written by John Hughes. Stars Chevy Chase, Randy Quaid, Beverly D'Angelo, Juliette Lewis, Johnny Galecki. But a few things about the movie before I get into my love of it, some things, reasons why I like it so much, is everybody knows the scene probably, but when Chevy Chase is beating the hell out of the reindeer and the lights ain't working, he actually broke his pinky during the scene. But they went ahead and just finished the shot, and they used that scene. So if you see him hit the fucking reindeer, he actually broke his finger in that shot, which I think everybody probably already knew that. This was the final film of Aunt Bethany. I mentioned that earlier. She was the voice of Betty Boop, the old lady in the movie. The old Dodge, this was interesting. The old Dodge pickup truck that tailgates Clark and the family in the opening scene was previously used on Kurt Russell's movie Overboard, and it was also the truck from They Live. Didn't know that.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Producer John Hughes, and you guys will be interested in this, Tommy and Craig. Producer John Hughes originally brought on Chris Columbus to direct this movie, but even before cameras could roll, Columbus came to the realization that he could not work with a difficult Chevy Chase after meeting him. So even though he desperately needed the job at the point of his career, Columbus decided to quit the project. He was worried it would end his career, but then Hughes brought him in to direct Home Alone in 1990, which became a massive hit 1 year later, earning over 6 times the amount of money Christmas Vacation did with a budget of almost $10 million less.
Wow.
Only 2 Christmas-themed movies came out in 1989, Prancer and on Christmas Vacation. Johnny Galecki starred in both of them. This is the only vacation movie that didn't feature Lindsey Buckingham's Holiday Road. Great song, by the way. This is the only one that doesn't have Holiday Road in it.
Yeah. I never thought about
the house
that.
in which the Griswolds' neighbor, Todd and Margot, live is the same house where the Murtaugh family lived in Lethal Weapon. Also cool. The house is on a street in the back lot of Warner Brothers. But the reason why I love this movie so much, I mean, overall, I love everything about it. Favorite part, obviously, is Randy Quaid. Love Randy Quaid's character in the original Vacation. I like him even better in this one, I think. He has so many quotable lines. You know, I don't even know where to start. They're all fucking gold.
It's more than that, too. It's Clark and Eddie's interaction with each other.
Yeah. It's the little things. Just like every time that Ellen goes into like every time cousin Eddie goes in to kiss Ellen, she's always backing away. You know, like everything. It's just little things like that just make it so great.
I love it.
It's just fucking great. Then they do a really good thing also, where it's such a funny ass movie, but it also pulls on the heartstrings. When Clark gets locked in the attic and he's playing the old reel to reels, you know, of his old family films. You know, he's cold, so he's wearing all the fucking grandma shit. But
dressed like
I don't know. Maybe because I'm older, you know, and I've had, you know, my dad's passed away, like that other shit. When he's watching those old films, it's like, I don't know, it gets me every time. It's just real sentimental to me. It's one of my favorite things.
Music and everything, and he's
a great shot.
Reminiscing,
You know, they do a great job of going from funny to that back to funny. Because she opens the fucking door and he busts his ass.
He goes straight through.
You know, it's just great, man. You know, the cousin Eddie, like I told somebody, or I actually heard somebody say one time, I think it was a meme, that if somebody doesn't say the shitter's full at least 3 times a Christmas season, how can you really trust them? You know, It's kind of a staple. I mean, I get excited every year because I find some reason to use it. So of course I started my intro video for this stream with that because it's one of my favorite things about the movie. Yeah, Randy Quaid, he's just fucking great. The whole cast is great. It's not just him, but he's the shining star for me in this movie.
Yeah.
One thing about the Christmas movies or the vacation movies that always aggravate me is the kids. They always recast the kids. In this movie here, the sister's older than the brother. Of course, Juliette Lewis, she's great. Johnny Galecki, of course, I do him from Roseanne because he got an older whatever. I actually didn't realize that he was the guy from Christmas Vacation until years after Roseanne. Just never clicked for some reason. This is a long time ago. But yeah, guys, number one, it was never a question. I could sit here and fucking Craig the shit out of this and talk for 30 minutes, but before he starts playing the Oscar music on me, I'm gonna stop.
There was a couple things that no one mentioned. I love the Grandpa Art character who's just an ass.
Yeah.
Everybody the whole time. They're out there trying to get the lights working, and Juliette Lewis says, he worked really hard on it. Come on. And he goes, so do washing machines. Who gives a shit? That he works fucking hard. I love that, man. And
when he gets all the lights turned on, he says the little lights aren't twinkling, Clark.
They're not twinkling. No, they aren't, Art. Clark has got Eddie in the living room, and they're kind of catching up. And he goes, "Hey, Eddie, can I refill your eggnog? Get you something to eat? Drive you out in the middle of nowhere and leave you for dead?" And he goes, "No, Clark, I'm fine, thanks."
Well, he's talking about his kids. He says, whatever her name is, says she's barking for the yak woman. He said, "You ever seen her?" He says, "Ugly, bro, but yeah, she can cook or whatever."
And a hell of a good cook.
He said, we had her in the rehab getting off the wild turkey.
You know what I heard?
Yeah.
I heard
that is so good. Sweet gal and a hell of a good cook.
You know, you remember somebody mentioned Christmas Vacation 2, and I've never seen it. And again, I don't really want to see it, but I actually heard that. I noticed that in Christmas Vacation 2, that's the only time that one of the kids actually reprised their roles, like the original Audrey comes back in that.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, it's probably better if I don't see that movie because I'm sure it's just garbage. God. I don't want to ruin my image of that character,
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
The first time I ever saw Christmas Vacation, and not really saw the movie, but the first time I ever saw any part of the movie was Rocky 5 when they're playing and he's the reindeer scene,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but Rocky 5 is playing a part of Christmas Vacation.
Oh yeah. Right before Yo Yo Yo, 100 Proof Santa comes down.
Yep.
All right. Caught up on the chat here, guys. Alex says my favorite Christmas movie is Home Alone, hands down.
Amen.
Mika says Home Alone is one of my favorite Christmas movies. Enjoy one and two. Craig and Tommy are friendship goals. Gizmo says, "What did I say? UK and Muppets. I was hoping for Beans Christmas or at least Blackadder Christmas. Come on, I'm kidding. It's a fun movie."
Oh, dude, me Blackadder Christmas special is fantastic. Mr. Bean can fuck right off.
Whoa! You're lucky this is a US stream. They'll kick you out of the country for saying that shit over there.
Mr. I love Rowan Atkinson. Rowan Atkinson is great. The whole Mr. Bean character is fucking terrible.
This is the last appearance. Right. Master Theater. He will no longer be on YouTube after this gets out.
All right. Bob Dobbs said the song has been restored.
It has.
All right. Andy says our number one is Die Hard, Yippee-Ki-Yay, Mr. Falcon. That's the worst dub ever. I don't know why people don't consider this a Christmas movie. It's set on Christmas Eve, has Christmas music, decorations, lights, and themes throughout.
I'll never understand that argument, but to each its own.
All right. Monica says, I love how emotionally connected Craig is with Home Alone.
Yes, he is.
She is your number one fan. Hollis says,
you're my number one customer.
Well, Alice said, as a kid, I remember my sister and I watching Home Alone all throughout the year because we loved it so much.
Yep.
Home Alone 1 and 2 is your number one? Okay.
One long
I
movie.
told you I cheated, okay?
Just Tommy and Craig could easily do a 6-hour stream just on Home Alone.
They're gonna do a 24-hour like Twitch stream where they just fucking sit in the room and reminisce about Home Alone stories.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't even like that movie.
Yeah.
Gizmo said Home Alone is good, but dial code Santa is my thing. And yes, Monica, just take up your bat and go to town. Craig is waiting in your guest room. It'll be a sledgehammer, not a bat. But
Yeah.
Wild Wrangler says saw a movie called Nutcracker Massacre, stars Patrick Bergen. Dirk says Inside is a great Christmas movie. What the fuck, Brad?
That's strong. That's high praise.
It's a great date movie.
It's a great, yeah. It's a great everything movie.
Love 4K. I own it. Gizmo says knife in the belly of the lady who gets her clitoris ripped in two makes probably Santa happy. Inside has that perfect red Christmas color throughout.
Yeah, see, delays everything. Whenever Gizmo posts, he's like very slow to read it. Okay, double bill on Christmas Eve with the family because you never know what the fuck's going to be in that sentence. Really.
Double bill Christmas Eve with the family, Home Alone, and Inside. It's an instant hit on YouTube if you do that with hidden cam.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry I missed some of the stream, but anybody pick Maniac, Black Christmas, Eyes Wide Shut, Christmas Evil? Brad picked Christmas Evil, and It's a Wonderful Life. No, nobody picked the rest of those.
Look at that. Look at that row of movies. Maniac, Black Christmas, Eyes Wide Shut, Christmas Evil, and then It's a Wonderful
Life.
Well, he has to clean his palate, He's trying to.
Yeah.
He has to be asleep at night. Come on.
Yeah.
Griffin said Brad had Christmas Evil, and the remake of Black Christmas was there too. All that piece of shit. Jeez, Brad. Wild Rangers. Anyone seen 13 Slaves Till Christmas? Christmas horror anthology.
I bought that from Screen Team Releasing. I just never watched it.
Shitter's full. All right. P2 is a good one too.
Oh, I forgot about that movie. That is
P2 is a really good Christmas movie. That really almost made my list.
Underrated.
All right.
Yeah.
Gizmo said, just finished UFC here, so now it is bed. Thanks for a great stream. Hit the like and subscribe to everyone. Sad that no one had Black Christmas OG.
Still got honorable mentions. May come up. You never know.
Yeah. Appreciate you being here, Gizmo. All right, pump your brakes, kid. Bean is a national treasure.
Dude,
anyone heard about the Bambi horror movie?
Lived in the UK, wasn't.
I have not heard about the Bambi horror movie. I know there's a Winnie the Pooh horror movie. It looks terrifying. So, well, guys, we are the part of the night. We're going to pull our one honorable mention. The one that didn't quite make your top 5, but you still love it. And we'll get started with my man Craig there. Tommy there.
Same thing.
So I'm gonna pull something now that I'm betting nobody here has ever heard of this movie, but it's a favorite of mine. Grew up on it. This was a movie that used to play in the early 90s. I think it came out like 90, 91, or actually it says right on here 89. But played a lot in the early 90s, and it would always come on Lifetime. It would always play back to back with a movie called The Night They Saved Christmas. Like, I don't know if you guys ever heard of that movie, but it's a made-for-TV movie and never been released on physical media. But I found this weird, stupid bootleg one time on eBay, and good thing because the VHS recording I had of it like is lost in time somewhere. But anyway, I ended up finding this bootleg, and I'm happy because I'm able to watch it. It's horrible quality, obviously, but at least I get to watch it. And again, it's something I grew up on, and it'd be really interesting to find out if you guys have heard of this, but a movie called It Nearly Wasn't Christmas.
No, I've not heard of that.
I have not heard of that.
Yeah, I didn't think so. But it's a cheesy movie, extremely low budget. As if I were to see this as an adult, I would think it's the dumbest movie ever. But I always remember watching this every year. It always come on cable. And I don't know. It's just a good story. Santa he doesn't believe that anybody cares anymore for each other. And the spirit of Christmas is dying. So he wants to quit playing Santa. and he decides to go help this girl that is trying to get her parents back together for Christmas. Her dad's like out in California trying to become a famous singer, and she hasn't seen him in a while, and she really wants her dad to come home for Christmas. And so she writes a letter to Santa to help her, and Santa decides to go help her get her parents back together for Christmas. And the goal is to go out, among the people and find out that people really do still care about Christmas and care about each other and blah, blah, blah. It's got that one dude in it. What's his name? Bruce Valanche. You know who I'm talking about?
Bruce Valanche.
I used to be on like the Hollywood Squares all the time. Like, if you guys remember him, he plays this really big, huge, fat elf in this movie. It's so funny, but it's a fun movie. Like I said, I loved it as a kid, and when I found this weird bootleg, I was so happy to watch it again as an adult because it had been so many years, and it didn't really hold up, but it's just got that nostalgia for me and remembering it as a kid, and it's just a fun movie, and I watch it every year. So yeah, this definitely is a good honorable mention for me. So I had to bust this one out.
That's pretty cool. I've just had a quick look, and there's a full release of it on YouTube, so I am going to have to check that out now. That's intrigued me. That I'm going to have to check that out.
Yeah, definitely check it out. There's a few kind of known actors in it. I'm trying to remember who the hell plays Santa. It's definitely somebody that you would know. I think this guy actually had a part, like I think he had a one episode he played in. I think Everybody Loves Raymond or something, but I'm pretty sure if you see this guy, you probably would recognize him, the guy who played Santa. But whatever, it's a fun movie, check it out on YouTube, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely on there. I'll have to give it a whirl.
Mm-hmm.
Right. My honorable mention, this title got mentioned a bit earlier on in the stream.
It's Day of the Beast.
It's Batman Returns.
Hell yeah.
That's a good one too.
It is.
For me, Batman and Batman Returns are the only two Batman films. Michael Keaton is my Batman, and there is nothing else, and no one will ever tell me otherwise.
Amen.
Everything after this, for me, the whole Batman thing just goes to shit. It just goes overproduced, over-stylized. It does nothing for me. But these two films are phenomenal. And this one, I mean, as good as the first one is the better film, but this looks like nothing else. This looks like it's straight out of a comic book. It looks fantastic. It is fantastic. The actors that are in here are great. The practical effects in it are brilliant. The special effects overall are great in it. And it was just one that I really enjoyed. And the fact that it ties the whole Christmas thing in, because I think that's what makes it pop. It's a really dark film, but you've got all those vibrant Christmas colours that pop in it all the way through. It's great. It is really, really good. So for me, Batman Returns always pops in there.
Danny DeVito as the Penguin, man.
As a Penguin. He's great. Christopher Walken as the Ursula Mer.
A fun fact too about that movie that I just recently learned is and I'm gonna forget his name, but the guy that plays Christopher Walken's son in the movie.
Andrew Bernowski.
It's fucking Leatherface.
Yeah, Andrew Bernowski.
Yeah, I never knew that. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Because he obviously looks nothing like that anymore. But from the remakes, right? The remakes.
He's doing a Walken impression too. Andrew Bernowski. Dad.
But
I haven't seen the first two Batman films in years, man. I need to go revisit them.
Yeah, it just screams Tim Burton. I think
they're not Batman movies. They're not Batman movies. They're Tim Burton movies to me.
The Tim Burton movies,
clearly.
But like I said, my Batman is Michael Keaton, and that is it. I can't watch any other Batman film because of that. It's everything else that come off the back of it. Whether it was the Christian Bale ones, whether it was the Batman that there's just been, I cannot watch them. They do nothing for me.
Oh, you'll love that new Batman. You will be. Your eyes will bleed. You'll be so bored watching it. I know you. I know you'll be watching it going, God damn! I don't care. He's a detective. Fly around and shit. You know?
Yeah, it's 3.5 hours of the fucking dude out of what was those fucking shit vampire films called when he was younger?
Twilight.
Twilight. Yeah, man, it's fucking. I'm out straight away. As soon as Robert Pattinson, as soon as you put Robert Pattinson in something, I'm out. You know what I mean? It's
Come on, Tony. Just you don't need to say anything more, dude. Everybody in the world knows that the greatest Batman movie is Batman and Robin. Come on.
Yeah. The Batman may be my favorite Batman movie. So, but I don't really care. I'm not a Superman guy. I'm not a superhero guy. But yeah, I like the new Batman.
Come on, the dialogue from Mr. Freeze. What killed the dinosaur? The Ice Age.
The Ice Age.
All right, everybody, chill.
Yeah,
it's bad. You actually did better than he did.
Yeah,
the Ice Age.
Yeah.
That's a great pick, man. Great pick.
You think when they were making that movie, they all like were eating lunch at craft service and went, "Can you believe we're getting paid for this shit?" Like, and Clooney's like 20 million. I don't give a fuck.
Uma Thurman is pretty hot though in that movie.
Yes.
So my honorable mention, I didn't pull it off the shelf. I probably should have because it has a slip and it's gorgeous. This is one of those movies that I told Tommy about after I watched it. I'm like, yeah, I just bought this movie as a blind buy and absolutely loved it. I mean, I guess technically it's a blind buy, but because I did watch the trailer for it, but the trailer is so misleading, and that is Better Watch Out.
Yes.
This movie came out, I think Wellgo USA put the Blu-ray out. Really gorgeous slip.
Yeah.
So if you watch the trailer makes it seem like it's like a home invasion slasher movie. Yeah. And it does start out like that, but then halfway through the movie, there's a twist that you.
I think they purposely did that. I think in the trailer.
Yep. So the trailer is very misleading. You think you're in for like a home invasion slasher, but it takes a twist that I'm not going to spoil for you.
Yeah.
But when the twist goes off and it just keeps getting batshit crazier as the movie goes on, there's a scene in that movie where they recreate the paint can scene from Home Alone.
Yep.
They do it to one of the victims in the movie, and it's not the effect that you see in Home Alone. Like you see the dude's like head just explodes from the paint can.
It's all coming clear now. This makes so much more sense why you like this movie.
No.
Tell me more. Tell me more about the Home Alone homage stuff that's happening in this movie.
It was pretty shocking though when the twist happens. You know what I mean? Like I was just not expecting that. I'm like, what is going on here? But the twist is good, and what happens with the rest of the movie is really entertaining.
Yeah. So it's the two kids from The Visit from M. Night Shyamalan. So it's the girl, Olivia DeJonge. She plays the babysitter. She's babysitting these two middle school age kids. And the not the main character kid, but the best friend of that kid, that's the other kid from The Visit. So they play brother and sister in the movie. So it's cool to see those two reunite and be in another movie together. But Better Watch Out. It's one of those ones now that I have to watch every Christmas because it's just a fun time. It really is. It's not really that gory. It's not really scary. It's just like it's pretty violent though. I'll say that. It is a violent movie for sure.
It's got a great ending. The ending is awesome.
Oh yeah, Tommy, you and I have talked about that. We both had a big smile on our face when during the ending. You're like, yes.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about it. Because a lot of times you watch these new movies, these new horror movies, and the movie can end up being pretty good, but then the ending ruins it because it has a stupid ending. Well, this was one of those movies that are really good and actually have a really good ending.
Yep. So kind of like I said about like the movie The Guest, it was just like a blind watch that I just fell in love with.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I, took the time to sit and watch the whole thing because I absolutely love it now. It's a staple in my yearly Christmas watches. And I hope it gets a 4K with a gorgeous slip because like Black Christmas Remake, it's another beautifully shot movie with just the colors and the cinematography. Like it looks really nice.
Yep.
So hopefully that gets a 4K upgrade, and I hope more people will, give that movie a chance because it definitely deserves to be seen.
I'll tell everybody right now, like I'm sure that most of the movies that we all talked about tonight are, I'm sure, everybody's seen most of them. But if I would say out of every movie we've talked about, in my opinion, if there's any movie that you guys out there are like wanting to see for the first time for Christmas this year, I would say Better Watch Out is definitely one that I would highly recommend everybody listening to this. Check this movie out this week before Christmas, and you'll love it. It is a great movie.
Yeah, if you see it in the stores, this is what the cover looks like. The Blu-ray same cover. So
yep,
really cool movie.
Hell yeah, man! I that almost made my honorable mention too.
I haven't watched it yet.
Watch it, everybody. Watch it. It was so good.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, short and sweet here. My honorable mention came out in 2017. Director Reinhard Kiel. Christmas Blood. This is as brutal as a killing, mass murdering Santa Claus has ever been on screen. This is a Norwegian film. Really, really slept on. I'm so glad I found it because I really, really liked it. The name Reinhard Kiel, Alan knows who it is, but that's our buddy Video Man and Gizmo in the chat. This is his movie, and this was his baby. And I wouldn't say it's like the fuck's that movie Craig likes with the Punish, the Killer Santa, Silent Night, Deadly Night, but it's a Killer Santa Claus. It's different. It's much darker than that. This is a really mean-spirited Santa. It's really well shot, but there is a lot of comedy in it too. Reinhard Kiel, Gizmo, when he gets killed in this movie, I haven't laughed that hard in years. It's hysterical, maybe because I know him, but it's awesome. There's a great scene about over an autopsy table. The autopsy scene is fucking hilarious. Definitely for that alone, pick this DVD up and get it cheap. But it's they call it a thriller slasher here about a feared serial killer called Nissen, who has struck Norway's countryside every Christmas Eve over the last 13 years. Investigators are trying to solve the case in time for Christmas. It takes place. It's shot in like northern Norway. It gives you the vibe of like The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, like that. It's like that kind of isolation type thing. But anyway, I don't want to spoil anything. It's a great one, man. Definitely pick this one up and check it out. It's a lot of fun, man. A whole lot of fun.
I'll be picking that up.
I just got mine. You can get it from Walmart for, I think I paid $9.99 for it, maybe less.
Yeah, it's in the Kino sale right now as well.
Yeah.
Is it in store at Walmart?
Probably.
I had it delivered. from Walmart, but I don't know if it is or not.
Any chance of a Blu-ray release?
No. No slip either.
Guess I can't watch it.
No fucking reversible artwork. I mean, what the fuck, man? Come on, Gizmo.
Yeah.
Get your shit together. Well, this is going to be fast because my honorable mention is Better Watch Out. And you can't say a lot about this movie without spoiling it. And you definitely do not want to spoil this movie. It's hard to really talk about it without spoiling anything. But like Craig was saying, this was a first time watch for me. I didn't take a whole lot of notes on this whatsoever. But this is another movie that I'm going to watch every year. I had a great time with it. The fucking twist was a what the fuck moment. It was done well. And there was a lot of really cool scenes in this. I thought all the younger actors did a great job in it. The ending was fucking great.
Yep.
Like I said, when it was over with, I was like, hell yeah, that's got to make my list somewhere.
Yeah.
And so I decided to put it as my honorable mention because I couldn't really move anything out of my top 5. But this is in my repertoire for a yearly watch now. So if you hadn't seen this, check it out. Like Craig was saying, also I hope this does get a Blu-ray 4K slip. That right there would be a great slip. Just that alone, I would take that. Well, on a 4K disc would be fucking fantastic. If you haven't watched it, check it out. I don't remember what I watched on. I think it was on Shudder. Is that right? Was it on Shudder? But yeah, it was a good one. I was basically trying to get some ideas of maybe some Christmas movies I'd forgotten about. I kept running across this one on everybody's list, and I decided, well, damn, let me just check it out because there's just so many Christmas movies I hadn't seen. Christmas horror movies I hadn't seen, and I watched 5 or 6 getting ready for this stream. This is the only one. Well, there was one other that almost made it. A Christmas Horror Story which is kind of like an anthology. It's not really an anthology. There's multiple stories going on at one time. That's another good one to watch. A Christmas Horror Story it's also on Shudder. That was a fun watch. So give that one a try also. But yeah, better watch out. Honorable mention. It was a fucking blast.
But you do have that, or you don't have that?
What, this?
Yeah, like do you have a copy of that?
No, I don't.
Because there is a Blu-ray slipcover edition of that.
Yeah, and like I said, I just discovered it when I was online looking around for shit, whatever, and so I watched it on streaming to see if I was interested or not.
Yeah,
but I haven't had time to order one yet, and I didn't have one. I just
seen
it when I was looking online.
There's a lot of holy shit moments in that movie.
Yeah, there really is. There really is. And there for a bit, I was like, this is going to be just like kind of cookie cutter. This is going to, whatever. It was enjoyable, but I was, on the fence. And then when it got me. And I was there the rest of the time.
The mom is Virginia Madsen, right?
Yes. That's something else. Everybody in this movie is Australian actors, except for two, which I think is the parents.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else in the movie is Australian actors.
You know what else was funny about that movie? I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. I think I read this or something, or saw it in the behind the scenes or something. But the movie, I can't remember where it was filmed. Was it filmed in Canada or something like that? Or
I'm not sure.
I don't know where it was filmed. I think it was
like New Zealand or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I think you're right. But the whole film was actually, it's set at Christmas time. There's snow everywhere, but the whole movie was actually in the middle of summer. And it was fake snow and everything. And a lot of the scenes, like outside and stuff, are like you can just. It's funny how they made everybody look so cold when they're outside, but it was like literally 100 and some degrees outside, and they're wearing like coats and sweaters and shit. And they were like sweating their ass off, but it was all filmed in the middle of summer, from what I read.
Oh well. All right, we will finish on the chat here, guys, and we will jump out of here. We've been going for 3 hours and 15 minutes. That's chicken shit for us.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here's where we left off. Jess says, it nearly wasn't Christmas. It's so cheesy, it's adorable. Bruce Valanche is hilarious.
Yeah.
While Reynolds says, Home for the Holidays, 1972, stars Sally Field. Was that movie remade with Holly Hunter? Was that the same movie? Same story? Wild Wranglers is Batman 89 and Returns Best. Yeah, I remember when 89 came out, man. It was such a big deal with the Prince song and everything.
Well,
it was a big deal.
It was offered to Michael Jackson. He turned it down for the songs, to write the songs.
Yeah, that was a cool soundtrack.
Yeah.
The Home for Holiday 72 is a good one, says Dirt. Allie says, Tommy's preference for it nearly wasn't Christmas reminded me of an underrated Christmas movie that I've always loved called Annabelle's Wish. It's so cute and makes me emotional every time I watch it.
Nice.
Bob Dove says, I've seen it. It nearly wasn't Christmas.
Yes, we found somebody.
Charles Durning.
Yes, Charles Durning. That's who plays Santa. Yep.
Says, okay, now you pumped out the real stuff, Tony. I will put a picture over the face of my girl of Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. She is sleeping, so she will not know. Brad, can you take the fat boy and just suck on it? Good night, all. The first time I ever met Gizmo was in these chats like this. And I'm thinking, this guy here he's a fucking weird dude. And once I met him, he's just a normal guy. But on the outside, he looks like a normal guy. He looks like
he looks normal.
But
he looks normal.
But on the inside, he's a twisted bitch. That's kind of why we're so
watch his movies and tell me he's normal.
Wild Reynolds says Batman and Robin. Batman slides on dinosaur tail like Fred Flintstone. All right. Alex says, please don't completely dismiss Robert Pattinson for an actor just because of Twilight. Tony, give him another chance. He's capable of more than you think. My favorite movie of his is Good Time. Yeah, Good Time that's a good movie. I enjoyed that.
Really good in Lighthouse.
I thought he was an okay Batman. I didn't like his Bruce Wayne, but his Batman was pretty good.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, Lighthouse is okay.
All right. Dirk says, I still need to check out Christmas Blood.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we are caught up in the chat, guys. Well, guys, this has been a fun stream. Yeah, we need to come up with some more ideas. This was a good time.
Yeah, this was a fun one.
Yeah.
I got some good recommendations from everybody.
Oh, yeah, as always. But everybody in the chat, you guys have been great. Wild Wranglers says Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Same to
Yeah,
you.
man. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Thank y'all for always joining in the streams. We always seem to have the same great guys and gals out there for all of our streams. I appreciate Tommy, Anthony, Craig, everybody joining me and Brad tonight.
Yeah, thank
man,
you.
It's been a good time, man. Yeah, anytime, man. Open invitation as always. But yeah, guys, y'all got anything y'all want to announce? Anything coming up or before we get out of here?
I'll just say again, thanks for having me, Pops, and thanks for everybody who joined us, and hope everybody has an awesome Christmas.
Absolutely, man.
Couldn't have said it better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Ditto.
Yeah, well, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Merry Christmas to everybody. Everybody be safe. Enjoy some time with your family. My son and daughter-in-law are coming in from Colorado next Saturday. They'll be here for about 6 days. So I probably won't be doing too much on YouTube during that time. I haven't seen them since last Christmas. So kind of looking forward to that.
Awesome.
But I actually got all my kids here, all 4 of my kids, and my daughter-in-law will be here. We're gonna have a house full. So it'll be a fun time. They're all gonna be here Christmas morning. It's gonna be awesome.
That's great to hear, Alan.
Right.
Yeah, man. So guys, Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank y'all for watching, and we will see y'all soon.
Merry Christmas. Go watch
Merry
Better
Christmas,
Watch Out.
everybody.